what he posted because, yeah, a lot of people don't like this for similar reasons to what I said. I just realized the song in this is a song about his Gaza hotel, like Trump Gaza, it keeps talking about. So what you see here is from the ruins of Gaza where there's scary Muslim men with machine guns, it's basically becoming this brand new Dubai-like city on the coast with statues of Donald Trump everywhere and Trump's hotel. He's chilling with Netanyahu by the pool. And there's weird shit like there's bearded women belly dancers. You'd think a lot of people would say this is woke. I mean, it could be someone trolling. And then you have like just Donald Trump everywhere. But then bizarrely, Elon Musk is here. I don't know why. He's eating a pizza. He's eating some fruit. He's doing some other stuff. And if you're going to ask yourselves, if someone is going to make a video for Donald Trump about him taking over Gaza, developing the beachfront and making hotels, why would anyone put Elon Musk in that? It's pretty clear his relationship with Elon Musk isn't because he likes him loads. It's purely like a finance and influence thing. Influence over social media with Twitter, influence in Silicon Valley. It's not because they're best buddies, right? You don't get the sense that Donald Trump loves Elon Musk so much he actually wanted him for vice president or something. It's not that. So in my opinion, whoever made this probably is one of the Doge staffers. I actually think Elon Musk did this. And that's just because he's in this so much. He's looking younger and skinnier, and for some reason is just featuring very heavily in a video that's meant to be about the US government and military taking over Gaza. Obviously, it's absolutely just like insane to just show it like this and to show that like all these Palestinians would be oh so happy if only Donald Trump would come and redevelop Gaza. But also, like, what's ignoring it is, like, obviously Donald Trump supported everything Israel have done. Even though he wasn't the president, Joe Biden's the one who armed them. He still has supported Israel throughout his career. He was the most pro-Israel president until Joe Biden became president. But yeah, it's just sick shit, really. And you could say, like with my video the other day about the salutes, it's trolling. I don't think it's really trolling. Like, there's some people who say it's the madman strategy, right? Like, the reason he's just saying all this shit, because in terms of the Overton window of like diplomacy, it just shifts it so far, right? So when he's saying stuff like, I'm gonna make Canada the 51st state, throws negotiating with them so far in one direction. And the same with this now. Like, he's now saying with like probably like Saudis and Egyptians, yeah, if you don't do what I want, I'm taking over. Like, not Israel, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna come and I'm gonna colonize Gaza and it will be a US territory basically. And then we might hand it over to Israel. So it could be like a pressure tactic in that regard for the Palestinians to completely capitulate. And that's what they may be hoping with stuff like this. But also Trump is just obsessed with himself. So he likes the idea of his hotel being in Gaza and him just taking over and like being some sort of savior. Like, that's how he actually thinks of it. And if you hear the way people talk about Gaza, the way people talk about Gaza is just so insane. Like, Palestinians, obviously why they've resisted that occupation for so long is because they have a deep love for this land and they want autonomy and they want to self-govern, right? So they've given so much in this fight over the last 70 years. But liberals and conservatives genuinely think all of these people are just like victims of like some sort of dictatorship, whether it be the PLO or Hamas, and they'd actually be happy for a savior to come in and develop it into the Gazan Dubai. The fact that the press are not hounding Republican politicians and cabinet members about this every day just shows you how normalized the dehumanization of Palestinians has been. Yeah, Joe Biden didn't say stuff like this, but at the same time, there's just a general acceptance that Palestinians are basically animals to these people and they can't govern themselves and they do need a savior, and that's the only thing that's going to make their lives better. I've seen a lot of people say, like, who would want to live in Gaza? With the assumption that it's a bad place to live because of Palestinians. And also another thing on the liberal element of that as well, like, I'm going insane by the blue no matter who liberals like Midas Touch, Brian Tyler Cohen, David Pacman, everything associated with that, pretending they're outraged by this. So you're outraged by an AI video. You're outraged by an AI video after Donald Trump put pressure on the Israeli government to have a ceasefire, right? So he is bad, obviously, for this AI video. And in this current moment, what is worse, an AI video or what Joe Biden did, which you never called out? So spare me, please, that suddenly you care about Gaza. And at the same time, while you're saying this is sick, what he's posting about Gaza, you're also saying to other people, you could have avoided this if you voted for Kamala Harris. This wouldn't have happened if you voted for Kamala Harris. If you voted for Kamala Harris and she won, do you know what would happen? There would be no ceasefire. It would all be still continuing as bad as it was when Joe Biden was president. So please, liberals, don't tweet at people, leftists, or even people who voted for Donald Trump because they thought he'd bring peace, that this is what you deserve. This is what you get. You should have known better. Because if they voted the other way and Harris won, it would still be going on, and it'd actually probably be more active at the moment. There were loads of rumours before the election that Donald Trump has said to Netanyahu that if he becomes president, he has to wrap this up quickly because he wants his first win as president. Like I said, it's probably not going to last. He probably knew it was going to last. But again, liberals, you have no leg to stand on. You supported this, and you made this possible that Donald Trump could even say something like this. This is all because of you as well as conservatives, so don't pretend you're innocent. Now, let's get into the comments, because the comments were actually restricted on his Instagram account. Like, obviously, I don't think Donald Trump runs his own Instagram account, but they got restricted because they look like this. So, I'm right wing, and what the hell is this button? Nearly 70k likes. As a Trump supporter, horrible post, 122k likes. I'm a Trump supporter, and what is this? 50k likes. Donald, we didn't vote for this, don't piss us off, 1,000. I've always considered myself a strong Republican, but watching this really made me think the elites are out there sipping cocktails on land that was torn apart by war, while regular people like us struggle every day blaming immigrants for problems we didn't even create. Feels like we've been played. Maybe it's time to take a step back and rethink who's really on our side. I'm not feeling it's these men. Trump, I voted for you to have a better economy, better laws, and to take care of our country. Stay focused on our future of our nation and don't create obstacles of other countries. Let's focus on making America great again. 50k likes nearly. Not cool. I openly advocated for Trump in November, and as a conservative, advise all my follower base to vote for him. But what am I witnessing? Some weird-ass music video featuring strippers and the president sunbathing with a maniac in the same place thousands of women and children have shed blood at the hands of the military-industrial complex in Israel, and Musk sauntering around loving life there. Now, obviously, not everyone who wrote, I am a conservative and I hate this, is probably going to be a conservative. They might just be writing that. At the same time, go to the post yourself, and most of the sentiment you see there will be similar to this. There'll be lots of people saying, I voted for you, don't get distracted by this is gross, or whatever. And if you go onto the subreddit as well, which I was talking about earlier, it's a pretty similar sentiment as well. Like, they don't like this crazy video. What the F is going on? He needs to stop with this weird shit and just stick with his presidential duties. Between the whole crypto rug pull during his inauguration twice and this, I'm not sure what reaction he's hoping to get from doing cringy stuff. Way dumb, actually infuriating. Yes, I'm 100% sure Palestinians will love being thrown off their land to see it being transformed in a playground for billionaires. I get that Trump isn't afraid to speak his mind, but how is this presidential? Let Don Jr. post it. This is the kind of shit that is going to let the Dems win the generic ballot like 54-46 in the midterms. We knew it was coming at some point. It's baked in with Trump. Taking petty, stupid fights and posts on social media is who he is. The only good thing I can grasp is I don't know how much people really care about mean tweets anymore. God damn it, man. Been thrilled with Trump's domestic policy, but his foreign policy has been a solid F-. Canada, 51st state, rhetoric, Greenland, Gaza, cozying up to Putin, it's all dog shit, 1.8k upvotes. I agree, he comes out swinging, doing a lot of stuff everyone loves, but he can never stay on point. So if you go on that post as well, you'll see loads of conservatives also just saying, you know, what basically is this? Like, what are you doing right now? And again, like, these people, like ideological conservatives, they aren't good people. They're saying, I love all his domestic stuff. I love everything he's done domestically, which has been absolutely insane and horrible. Also mostly done by Elon Musk at this point. But the foreign policy has been bad. And again, it's for a variety of reasons. You had someone saying there, all the stuff, like with expansionism and just threatening people, or even cozying up to Putin. Like, not everyone likes Russia. Like, you grow up in a country where you're told your whole life that Russia is the #1 enemy, like multiple generations, only for Donald Trump to turn around and start being best friends with Putin. Of course, people aren't going to like that either. So it's good to see some sort of pushback. But the thing is, with Donald Trump, the worst thing about him is he's on his second term, right? So although they're floating things like Donald Trump third term and everything like that, I don't think that's going to happen. He's going to be too old. He honestly, to me, in a lot of ways, looks checked out in a lot of political events, because I don't think he cares really about being president this time as much, because it just feels like he's happy for everyone else to run the show. But at the same time, just say some crazy shit, which maybe he does or doesn't believe. Like, I'm concerned about this now because he's been saying it so many times. But also at the same time, when we're talking about like international relations, he can say this all he wants, but the reality is so different. Like, for example, if the US actually takes over Gaza, First of all, that basically destroys their relationship with Egypt, which is one of the biggest beneficiaries of US weapons, right? There's a reason for that. And also, it could completely destroy their relationship with Saudi Arabia. And that's not because these governments of Egypt and Saudi Arabia are like good. I think Mohammed bin Salman said to, I think it was someone who works for Biden, maybe Blinken, that he doesn't give a shit about Gaza, which I can totally believe. Sisi probably doesn't care either. But the problem is, Palestine is such an important issue to like 99% of Muslims, especially Muslims who both live in the Middle East or who live on the border with Palestine itself. And that's what they're worried about the most, these governments, is you can't let Israel, the US, take over Gaza, because there's just going to be an insane protest, which will probably be a riot and could overthrow the government. Like, that is something that could like spark the Arab Spring again in places like Egypt. I mean, in Saudi, it's a bit different. They have more of a control over the population. There's so much wealth there as well. So many wealthy people who don't care about the exact same stuff. At the same time, they're not going to be happy with their governments over this, and that will motivate their reactions to this. Same with, you know, Turkey, which is a key member of NATO as well. I think in realistic terms, the US actually taking over Gaza is not going to happen, even if the US government really wanted to do this. And I'm sure there are various elements within the US government, and maybe Donald Trump himself, who does love the idea of developing Gaza into a US colony like Puerto Rico or Hawaii and filling it with Trump hotels and stuff like that. I'm sure that is true. At the same time, the political realities, I don't think, are going to really allow that. And that's on a global level. And on a domestic level, yeah, loads of people are going to hate this. And the Republican Party has to probably think about its own future, that a lot of Americans now hate like foreign intervention forever. Doesn't matter what kind of politics they believe in. The legacy of Afghan and Iraq for most Americans is we don't want this to ever happen again. And that's severely like neutered America's like military powers, that they can't really do this because domestically it's never going to be accepted. It's basically a political death sentence to start another war where thousands and thousands of US troops would be involved, but they're just basically for most Americans no benefit. And obviously the insane backlash from insurgent groups would be absolutely crazy if this happened. Like, we thought like the 2000s were bad, but Western Europe and America, mainly Western Europe, will probably suffer so badly at the hands of these attacks in retaliation for what's happened. So yeah, overall, it's not going to happen in my opinion, but it's just insane and gross that he can, you know, post something like this and it doesn't even seem like a big deal. I'm not trying to frame ideological conservatives as good people, because I don't think they are, obviously. Most of them are just flat out fascists at this point. Remember, I'm talking about actual political conservatives, not just everyone who voted for Donald Trump. They don't oppose this based on caring about human life and caring about the Palestinians, but I mean, at least they are opposing it based on some consistency, which I guess people can agree with on the left generally, even if we don't agree with all the motivating factors. But yeah, that is it for the video. I just thought it was interesting how there is still people in the conservative movement who don't just go along with everything Donald Trump says. But let me know what you guys think in the comments, and if you made it this far, thank you for watching.
Okay, shut up. Why are you there? Who's this man? Who is this guy? Does anybody know who this guy is? I don't know who the this guy is. Who the is this guy? Why? some of the more dramatic moments of this back and forth.
We know that Europe is ready, but without the United States, they will not be ready to be as strong as we need. And then the last point, last not least, about exchange, about
Replay.
should have never.
Oh, did this end? I thought that they were doing a press conference. They were continuing the press conference. Okay, well, we'll get started here. Okay, he left early, live early, and watching the Zelensky-Trump fight. Oh, they canceled the press conference? They canceled the press conference? Oh my God. Okay, well, sorry, I apologize. I didn't know they canceled the press conference. And Trump actually kicked them out. I knew they fought. I didn't realize he just got kicked. Oh my God, this literally just happened. Okay, I thought I was actually paying attention to what the I thought oh my God. 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 I'm behind. Oh my God. Okay, yeah, I understand why people were like, no personal news. God damn. Bro, what the hell? What the hell? What a crazy way to start the day. Holy moly. It's bedlam. It's bedlam. It's bedlam. It's bedlam. It's bedlam. But yeah, TrueAnon on later to discuss MAGA, Epstein, fallout, and more. Get in now. Holy moly. What a crazy day. What a crazy day. Okay. Let's watch.
The same.
So Trump meets Zelensky. Okay, Disney comes in. All right, he comes in, and for all intents and purposes, I'm going to set the stage for all of you. Okay, I'm going to set the stage for all of you. So this is supposed to be coming off the heels of weeks and weeks of Donald Trump calling Zelensky a dictator, saying he sucks, saying he ain't shit, saying Zelensky's got no constantly talking about how Zelensky's short, you know, all this stuff. Okay. He's like, you got no money, no bitches, no job prospects, and you're a dictator. That's what Donald Trump is saying over and over again. And in the process, there's also this mineral deal that's, being floated around where Trump is like, I'm going to take all your raw earth. I'm going to hit that earth raw. He just keeps saying, I'm going to hit the earth raw. I have your minerals. I'm going to take it. Okay. I'm going to take all of your minerals. There's nothing you can do about it. And it's weird because, like, we don't even know if there's a lot of minerals or whether or not they are even rare earth minerals. They're certainly raw, but I don't know if they're going to be rare earth minerals or not. And regardless, he's like, Trump is saying, like, I want the minerals because we gave you so many weapons. We gave you all of our old busted ass equipment, and that was like $300 billion. Like, it's time to pay up, which is, you know, pretty honest in terms of how American foreign policy normally works. But, like, obviously, optically speaking, probably not a very good deal. It's probably kind of a raw deal for Ukraine, but it was always slated to be a raw deal regardless. But now after all of this, there's still this back and forth where there's this suspicion where Donald Trump, you know, dials it back and says, like, no, did I call Zelensky a dictator yesterday or the other day or every single day since then? Ooh, was that me? I don't know. So, like, that's basically the last thing that happened before this this Zelensky conference was supposed to happen. He linked up with Keir Starmer, also known as Keir Stalin. He talked to Macron. Macron touched him in the leg, you know, maybe even touched his heart. He's been talking to all the European heads while constantly talking about how he's going to tear the shit out of our European allies, right? But when he did the whole, did I do that thing? I thought to myself, like, okay, he's probably going to go back on this stuff. He's just playing hardball. He's going to give them more old weapons and tell them, like, they can continue fighting or whatever until they just, like, I guess, inevitably come to a ceasefire negotiation, a bargain, like, you know, going along with the other side of the Brandonian policy, right? And boy, was I wrong. I didn't think that this would happen. Okay, I'll admit, a lot of you look to me and say, Hassan, you apply the scientific dialectical materialist analysis to things that are happening all around the world, and you are at least relatively knowledgeable when it comes to issues like Israel, Palestine, and Seemingly, this is very helpful in making accurate assessments or even sometimes predictions. But when it comes down to Donald Trump, especially in the way that he's dealt with this Zelensky stuff, it is utterly unpredictable. Okay? It is completely unpredictable. This is the Nixonian madman theory in action, but this time it's actually a madman. Like there is no IR interpretation for the way that Donald Trump operates. I'll say it. Okay? There's no he has redefined the genre. Okay? He has redefined the entire genre. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, ain't nobody can make, like, there's no real politique. Okay? There's no real politique here. There's no fucking there's no constructionist the way of approaching it. There's no Marxist interpretation for international relations here. It's just Trump. Okay? It's just Trump, and he might say some shit. He might turn back on it. But yeah, let me explain to you to the best of my ability, because it's virtually impossible to truly come to terms with what the happened here. So after Disney comes over to the White House and we're like, okay, there's gonna be a mineral deal. Is this going to end up with more weapons for Ukraine, or is this going to end up with like a finalized, ceasefire bargain or anything like that? It turns out, no. It's a secret third option. Okay? It's a secret third option that virtually no one could have seen. Okay? Like, what the hell, bro? Let's watch. Truly a nutty moment in American politics, okay? All right, so they come in.
What's your message for them?
Well, if I didn't align myself with both of them, you'd never have a deal. You want me to say really terrible things about Putin and then say, hi, Vladimir, how are we doing on the deal? That doesn't work that way. I'm not aligned with Putin. I'm not aligned with anybody. I'm aligned with the United States of America. And for the good of the world, I'm aligned with the world. And I want to get this thing over with. You see the hatred he's got for Putin. It's very tough for me to make a deal with that kind of hate. He's got tremendous...
Bro, there is nothing funnier than the camera panning over to Zelensky. He's like, you can't... I don't like the guy, but what are you going to do? He is a victim here. He's a hostage, like the January 6th hostages. He's held a hostage. The entire world has been so unfair to Vladimir. They've been so unfair to him. All he wanted to do was denazify Ukraine. He wanted to do a special military operation to denazify Ukraine. I tell you, folks, Nazis, not very fine people on both sides, okay? Let me tell you, he just wanted to denazify. Also, Slava Ukraini, that's a hate crime. Let me tell you, everybody knows 14,000 people died in Donbass. All the people in LPR and DPR, all they wanted to do was maintain independence. They had Russian roots. Alexander Dugin. What accent is that? I'm so hopped up that I can't even do a good Trump right now. Okay? Many people are saying I'm a Duganist. What's wrong with that? He's got some good ideas, folks. They did the Tsar so wrong. He had great ideas. He was going to fix the Russian Empire. All these peasants, the Bolshevik Revolution, very unacceptable. Don't we hate it, folks? That's why I like Putin. He's going to restore it.
And this hatred. And I understand that, but I can tell you the other side isn't exactly in love with, him either. So it's not a question of alignment. I'm aligned with the world. I want to get the thing set. I'm aligned with Europe.
With the world.
I want to see if we can get this thing done. You want me?
Wait, it's at 120? What do you mean? It like you want me to go more? Why do you want me to go further? Like, it's fine. I want to hear the rest. I want to hear
I
that.
could be tougher than any human being you've ever seen. I'd be so tough. But you're never going to get a deal that way, so that's the way it goes. All right, one more question.
Hey, I would respond to this. So look, for 4 years.
Okay, shut up. Why are you there? Who's this man? Who is this guy? Does anybody know who this guy is? I don't know who this guy is. Who the f is this guy? Why are you in the room, dog? The f is your purpose? Excuse me. Where is the real president? Where is Elon Musk? Why is Elon Musk not in the room? Who the frick is this guy thinking he can have a moment in the spotlight? Like, don't try to clip farm, okay? You're not FaZe Ronaldo, little bro, okay? You're not Lacey. You can't. You are not the clip. Don't come in here to be like, oh, let me get a couple licks in on Zelensky so that people can talk about me too. Like, get the frick out of here, dude. Anyway, sorry.
Here's the United States of America. We had preferences and talked tough about Vladimir Putin, and then Putin invaded Ukraine and destroyed a significant chunk of the country. The path to peace and the path to prosperity is maybe engaging in diplomacy. We tried the pathway of Joe Biden, of thumping our chest and pretending that the President of the United States' words mattered more than the President of the United States' actions. What makes America a good country is America engaging in diplomacy. That's what President Trump is doing.
Can I ask you?
He admitted Putin invaded Ukraine. Yeah, he has. That's why he's there, by the way. He's the moderating voice. He is the moderating voice. He put his freaking eyeliner on this morning thinking to himself, I'm really going to have my moment here, okay? I'm going to play both sides here. I'm going to say the truth about the matter while Donald Trump says insane stuff. But just wait, because Donald Trump doesn't like this. Okay? He doesn't like being around beta men, okay? Beta males. He is not a fan. He is not a fan of beta males. And now he's surrounded by two, okay? Donald Trump, the GOAT, Mr. MAGA, Mr. Alpha Dog, okay? Surrounded by not one, but two.
Thank you very much. It's an honor to have President Zelensky.
Wait, why don't I want to see what Zelensky says here and then Trump's reaction.
Yeah.
Okay. So he occupied our parts, big parts of Ukraine, part of East and Crimea. So he occupied it on 2014. So during a lot of years, so I'm not speaking about just Biden, but those time was Obama, then President Obama, then President Trump, then President Biden, now President Trump, and God bless, now President Trump will stop him. But during 2014, nobody stopped him. He just occupied and took. He killed people. You know what the contact
2015.
2014.
2014 and 2014.
Yeah. So
I was not here.
Yeah, but
That's exactly right.
Yes, but during 2014 till 2022, yeah, the situation the same. The people have been dying on the contact line. Nobody stopped him. You know that we had conversations with him, a lot of conversations, my bilateral conversation, and we signed with him, me, like a new president. In 2019, I signed with him the deal. I signed with him, Macron and Merkel, we signed ceasefire. Ceasefire, all of them told me that he will never go. We signed him with gas contract. Gas contract. Yes, but after that, he broke the ceasefire. He killed our people.
He does not want to hear any of this, bro. He's like, bro, stop talking. He's like, stop talking. Like, you ain't even, he's like, you ain't even funny. He's like, you ain't even funny. I've seen your comedies. I didn't like them. I didn't like your comedies.
Of Ukraine.
All right, let's watch this. This is like the full vid, okay? This is the chaos.
Been working.
He does not want to hear even a second, okay?
Very close. So we've actually known each other for a long time. We've been dealing with each other for a long time and very well. We had a little negotiation spat, but that worked out great. I think for both countries. I think for the world, actually, beyond both countries. and we have something.
This isn't funny to me. I am too woke. Brother, there is virtually nothing we can do about American foreign policy decisions. Okay? Nothing. Do you understand? Nothing. It is not a democracy. Please, make no mistake. There is no democratic process here. There is no morality here. I'm using this as an opportunity for everyone to recognize the reality. Okay? Recognize the reality. There is a reason why American foreign policy has left behind so many countries in revolt, which then turned those American weapons formerly used against American adversaries on America. Okay? How do you think 9/11 happened? Like, what do you think was 9/11? 9/11 this is literally the precursory to 9/11, but this time happening in an Eastern European country, straight up. And I've been saying, this is basically, you remember that tweet from that one journalist who was like, I've been investigating this story for years and years, and he just tweeted it? That's how I feel. That's how I feel when I watch these things unfold. Because for years and years, I have been critical of American foreign policy for being so violent and so cruel and not even caring remotely about the humanity of the people that we just use like a dish rag, okay? Only to have those people understandably develop resentment towards us or even other allies, expressions of American empire, and then eventually turn around and turn the same weapons that we gave them on us. Okay? That's it. This is exactly what happened with Operation Cyclone. There's a reason why this meme exists, you know? The whole eventually they'll turn on you, the meme that I used on my blast off tweet as well. Okay, whether it be Manuel Noriega from U.S. friend to foe, whether it be Saddam Hussein, Osama bin Laden, Muammar Gaddafi, you know, this is how it works. This is the most consistent, most coherent American foreign policy. You understand? That's why I always say, hey, listen, if you're leftist, you're right, just too early. Okay? Joe Biden fucked over Ukraine. Of course Joe Biden fucked over Ukraine. Yes. And Trump is basically just full tilt finishing the job.
Very fair deal. And we look forward to getting in and digging and working and getting some of the rare earth. But it means we're going to be inside, and it's a big commitment from the United States, and we appreciate working with you very much. And we will continue to do that.
Sean Ray, thank you for the raid, Sean. Hope you had a good stream, brother.
Russia, I spoke with President Putin, and we're going to try and bring this to a close. It's something that you want and that he wants. We have to negotiate a deal, but we've started the confines of a deal, and I think something can happen. The big thing is the number of soldiers, mostly at this point, the soldiers being killed. We're losing thousands of soldiers. So on both sides, we're losing a lot of soldiers, and we want to see it stop. And we want to see the money get put to different kinds of use, like rebuilding. And we're going to be working very hard. But we've had a lot of very good conversations. I will say until we came along, the Biden administration didn't speak to Russia whatsoever. They didn't speak to anybody. They just allowed this to continue. And I will say that, I'll say in front of you, you've heard me say it 1,000 times, if I were president, this war would have never happened. We would have had a deal negotiated for you without having to go through what you've gone through. But your soldiers have been unbelievably brave. We've given them great equipment, but somebody has to use the equipment. They've been unbelievably brave, and we give them great credit. This was supposed to be over very quickly, and here we are 3 years later. So I give tremendous credit to your generals and your soldiers and yourself in the sense that it's been very hard fighting, very tough fighting. They're great fighters. And you have to be very proud of them from that standpoint. But now we want to get it over with. It's enough, right? We want to get it over with. So,
yeah. So it starts off relatively normal, from what I understand. Relatively normal. Okay, there's like a little bit of like pushback. Okay, there's a little bit of a history lesson from Zelensky. Of course, the entire press conference that's taken place here, this entire meeting that's happening here, is happening on the backdrop of Donald Trump's insane actions in terms of foreign policy, voting alongside Russia and North Korea and Belarus to say they're not condemning Russia's invasion of Ukraine, which was already a symbolic gesture to begin with, right? Those are symbolic votes in general, but they matter when America obviously completely changes its alignment. Donald Trump, a dictator, over and over again, saying he sucks, over and over again, saying like, we're going to take all your minerals, all this stuff. And then seemingly it falls apart.
It's an honor to have you here. Thank you very much.
It's so bad. Even most of Asmongold's chat is saying Trump L. Yes, because Asmongold is pro-Ukraine. He's pro, I think, what is it? Like he's on Ukraine, on the issue of healthcare, on the issue of like some left-wing populist sentiment. He is not on board with Trump, but it's not enough to like be a spoiler for him. That's it.
We're going to sign the agreement at the conference in the East Room in a little while, right after lunch. And we'll be having lunch together. We're also discussing some other things. And we appreciate everybody being here. It's somewhat of an exciting moment, but the really exciting moment is when they stop the shooting and we end up with a deal. And I think we're fairly close to getting that, and an honor to have you. And please, I'd like to say something.
No, thanks so much, Mr. President. Thank you for the invitation. And really, I hope that this first document will be first step to real security guarantees for Ukraine, our children. I really count on it. And of course, we count that America will not stop support. Really, for us, it's very important to support and to continue it. I want to discuss it with details further during our conversation, and of course the infrastructure or security guarantees, because for today I understand what Europe is ready to do, and of course I want to discuss with you what United States will be ready to do. And I really count on your strong position to stop Putin, and you said that enough with the war. I think that is very important, Ben, to say these words to Putin at the very beginning of war, because he's a killer and terrorist. But I hope that together we can stop him. But for us, it's very important to, to save our country, our values, our freedom, and democracy, and of course, no compromises with the killer about our territories, but it will be later. And of course, what I wanted, we spoke about it by phone with you about the drones production. We have very good drones production. I think the best one in the world for today because of the war. Yes, and of course, we need very much the air defense. You have the best air defense in the world, and really you helped us under attacks of Russians. And I want to speak how we can exchange the licenses. We're able to share the license.
Look at this asshole, by the way. Every moment of his life, like we know who this demon is, okay? And we know who this demon is. He's just a brown noser. But this demon is still very much an old school American war hawk. 99 votes in the Senate, including Bernard Sanders, by the way. Remember, that's how uniparty American foreign policy is, okay? He has an image to project. He has an image to maintain. And he's just sitting there being like, I really hope that this doesn't get out of hand because Donald Trump is a little crazy, And he's just sitting there, okay? Pants riding all the way up to his goddamn knees like a little boy.
Licenses of all our drones with you, of course, with the United States, and we need licenses for quick production of air defense. Even after the war, we need our nation to be calm and we are secure. So that's why we need this air shield. And of course, about this, I want to speak about the contingents. I think that France and UK already spoke to you. And we know that Europe is ready, but without the United States, they will not be ready to be as strong as we need. And the last point, last not least, about exchange, about our people and children. And you know that these crazy Russians, that they stolen 20,000 of children, Ukrainian children. They changed their names. They changed their, their families, relatives, and now they're in Russia. We want to bring them back. And really, it's a big, big dream, task and goal for me and our warriors. By the way, Mr. President, we exchanged.
Not a great day for the Zelensky was installed by the Americans crowd.
From Russian prison, but there are thousands more in the prison. I wanted to show
That
you
too.
some images. How it's, you have just
They're not going to win that stupid war. Russia's going to win. No, nobody. Only America wins
1 minute.
in this situation.
To understand in what circumstances, in what situation they are, and what the attitude of Russia to our prisoners. Then, guys, just you before and after. You see before and after, just you to understand. Now, thousands of such guys, ladies and men, there, and that's so they don't eat. They beat them, and they, a lot of bad.
By the way, I do want to mention something here, but like this is like Israel stuff that he's doing here, but these guys don't care. They don't care. You can literally show the brutality in I mean, and the previous administration didn't care either. They just used it to, keep saying, no, we're on the morally correct side here, but also give us the minerals, please. Like, that would be sick. But that's it. They didn't care either, but they at least operated on the boundaries of caring. They didn't care, but they at least would use it as a way to explain why they were aligning with Ukraine in the way that they were aligning with Ukraine. Donald Trump, on the other hand, does not give a fuck. You can show him like open graves from Bucha, and he would just look at it and be like, I don't care. You shouldn't have had people there. You shouldn't have had people there ready to be invaded and killed. Like, he just does not care. He is an animal, okay? What? Libs of TikTok, Lamau.
That are lost every year in Medicaid.
Hassan Piker just called for violence against a sitting U.S. senator. If you care about Medicaid fraud. No, I'm not saying you should do that. I'm saying that if he did, he would apply capital punishment to Rick Scott. Yes. At FBI. I can't even respond to this because this dumbass blocked me. I guess I could. Anyway, let's continue.
Things
at FBI.
So out of, even during the war, there are rules. Everybody knows there are rules during the war. So these guys, they don't have any rules. You see that 50, 60 kilograms left and a lot of such things. And I didn't want to show you what the changes with images of children because I will just share with you. And, I mean, it's looking tragic.
Yeah, it's tough stuff.
I wanted very much to give you, and you see it.
Yeah.
This is pastor, by the way. They stolen pastors because it's not Russian church. They stolen pastors and moved pastors to the prison. We, at the end of last year, we brought 3 pastors, and we could exchange them. And this is pastor, you see.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, so I mean, this I wanted to show you, and yes, so thank you very much.
We want to get that ended, right?
Yeah, of course we will.
I think we will. And
Have to, of course.
do you have any questions, please?
Mr. President, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. President. With the, how much money is the U.S. going to put into the fund that's being created today, and how does this provide long-term security for Ukraine?
Well, we don't know exactly how much because we're going to be putting some money in a fund that we're going to get from the raw earth that we're going to be taking and.
Yeah, so the raw earth. Oh my God, why am I saying raw earth now? I love that he says it like why has no one stopped him from saying this? It's now official lexicon. I'm saying it too. Oh my God, raw earth. The raw earth is raw. God damn. You doing okay, brother? I mean, I'm doing fine. I don't know. I don't know how anyone could be doing okay in these circumstances, but raw earth. Okay. Anyway, he's talking about raw earth. We're going to extract the raw earth. Initially, I thought the way Donald Trump presented this, I thought that he meant, he's getting 50% of their minerals, rare earth minerals, not raw earth minerals, specifically for all of the weapons that they've sent thus far. Now, it seems like it is for the additional weapons that they might send to Ukraine, except according to Caitlin Collins, who was in the room, no deal was signed. So we don't even know if that's currently on the table.
Sharing in terms of revenue. So it's going to be a lot of money will be made from the sale and from the use of raw earth. And as you know, our country doesn't have much raw earth. We have a lot of oil.
Yeah, I know. He ate it.
Gas.
He ate it big time.
We don't have a lot of the raw earth. And what we do have is protected by the environmentalists, but that can be unprotected. But still, it's not very much. They have among the best in the world in terms of raw earth. So we're going to be using that, using it for all of the things we do, including AI and including weapons and the military, and it's really going to very much satisfy our needs. So something that just worked out really well. We have a lot of oil and we have a lot of gas, we have a lot, but we don't have raw earth. So this has just about every component of the raw earth that we need for computers, for all.
He keeps going. He just keeps saying raw earth. Why is nobody? Okay, whatever. How are you going to even what? That's not even the most significant part of this conversation. Sorry, it's just. Let's just keep going. Sorry, I apologize for caring about this. It's so stupid. It's so stupid to care about this.
I think they're going to have great luck. I think once we make the agreement, that's going to be 95% of it. They're not going to go back to fighting. I've spoken with President Putin, and I feel very strong. I've known him for a long time, and I feel very strongly that they're very serious about it. And we'll make a deal. And when the deal is made, I don't think we talk about security. Everyone's talking about the other day. All they talked about was security. I said, let me make the deal first. I have to make the deal first. I don't worry about security right now. We have to have a deal because right now, last week, 2,000 soldiers died on both sides. 2,000, and they're losing 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 a week. So as we sit here and we talk, people are getting shot and dying on the battlefield. And, you know, they're not American soldiers, but they're Russian soldiers and they're Ukrainian soldiers, and we want to be able to stop it. And we want to be able also to spend money on other things. We don't want to, this is a tremendous amount of money, and what the Biden administration did was terrible. They were giving money, but he had no security on the money. Europe, as you know, gave much less money, but they...
Like, him starting with the Russian soldiers, it's also indicative of what his position is. But it's kind of funny where he goes, what Biden did was terrible. And why what Biden did was terrible was not because, like, he didn't force Ukraine and Russia to come to the table for a ceasefire when Ukraine had more leverage. What Biden did wasn't terrible because he didn't actually hastily bring forth enough weapons that Ukraine could defend itself with initially when there were more people in Ukraine, when they had more of a standing military that hadn't been destroyed. He didn't, like, those weren't the reasons, right? Those were not the reasons why Biden was terrible. It was because he didn't get assurances for the old ass weapons that we dumped into fucking Ukraine that the military industrial complex was able to get an incredible return off of. Like those, that's the real reason. The real reason is he just didn't, like, farm Ukraine harder, which he did. Of course, Biden farmed Ukraine as well, just like Donald Trump is doing. Okay. The only difference here is he didn't actively come out and regularly be like, Zelensky sucks. That's the only difference. That's it. But for him, the biggest crime for Biden he wasn't aggressive enough with Ukraine, which is a crazy thing.
They had security. It was in the form of a loan. They get their money back, and we didn't. And now, at least we're protected because the American taxpayer has to be protected too. But this is an incredible agreement for Ukraine because we have a big investment in their country now, and what they have, very few people have. And we're able to really go forward with very, very high-tech things and many other things, including weaponry that we're going to use in many locations, but that we need for our country. This allows us to do this.
But Mr. President,
Will you continue? Sorry, I'm sorry. Military aid.
Yes, go ahead, please.
If I can just add, yes. in the document, there is one of the very important points if we speak about business and investment. We never had LNG terminals in Ukraine. This document will open. I mean, the next document, but anyway, here we see in the framework, we see a really good will for this. LNG terminal.
This is a disgrace that the U.S. is extorting an ally for its minerals while we are under attack from a brutal dictatorship. You're suggesting that Biden and Trump are essentially the same? That's a gross mischaracterization of reality. Brother, what are you talking about? Biden and his team also were quietly, like, read reports on this, please, from American news outlets. Biden and his team also were trying to do the same exact mineral deal. Okay? The only difference between Biden and Trump is that Trump is a fucking psycho and will actively undermine Ukraine, even though they are not only the wronged party here, but also the ally in this equation. That's the major difference. Okay? But in terms of like the mineral deals that we're talking about here, it's do you still believe American foreign policy is uniparty? Yes. The broad strokes of American foreign policy is uniparty. Republicans, and this is something that I consistently explain to you guys, and I think it just like gets lost in translation or something. American foreign policy is uniparty. However, Republicans are the accelerant. They come into power and they just pull it all the way. They just go crazy mode with it. The direction is still the same. Republicans just accelerate. And then Democrats, when they come into power, don't actually reverse that trajectory. There are very rare exceptions for this. But beyond like the denuclearization agreement with Iran that Barack Obama put in place, or normalizing relations with Cuba that Barack Obama also did, there are very few instances where the Democratic administration, Biden's administration, that came in after, for example, Trump's administration, Biden's administration did not actually reverse the trajectory of every single thing that the Trump admin had done prior, especially as it pertains to Israel, for example. Okay? This is open. Like, this is open in broad daylight. How does this not come across as even remote? Like, how does it not shock you when he's doing it? Yes, there's a big difference between trying to use a little leverage for a mineral deal, sitting down with Putin without Zelensky there. I think the goals are the same, but the method of execution matter. No, I agree with you. I don't disagree with you on that at all. I think optics when it comes to soft power and diplomacy are profoundly important. I think at the end of the day, the outcome was still the same for Ukraine. Having said that, however, the optics do matter, because if America does not even care about presenting itself as like a peacekeeping nation, then all of a sudden our European allies are going to look at that and go, oh my God, these guys are saying it. These guys are going to fuck us over. They've been fucking us over, as a matter of fact. People are going to catch up to that reality. Okay? This is what I've been saying since day one, since Trump took office. His mismanagement on the Ukraine side of the bargain has been ridiculous. He could have Zelensky there at the table every day of the week. He doesn't have to undermine Zelensky at all. Whatever he says goes regardless. America holds all the cards in this equation. Having said that, however, he could just as easily bring Zelensky to the table in front of Vladimir Putin. The choice not to do so is important. It is definitely different than what Biden would have done if he ever actually wanted to put forth a ceasefire negotiation. He should have, okay? That was my big problem with Biden's administration when it came to Israel and Gaza. That is exactly my big problem with the Biden administration when it came to Ukraine and Russia. A lot of people yelled at me at the time, but Ukraine had significantly more leverage in the initial phases of the invasion to actually get put together a much more comprehensive and much better ceasefire proposal, and the Biden administration was not even remotely interested in it. It's not benefit of hindsight either, for the record, because it wasn't hindsight at the time I said it. And plenty of other people said it too. That's why I get so mad when people go, this is hindsight. It's like, what do you mean hindsight? Ukrainian channel and account yelled at me and said I was fucking dick riding Vladimir Putin. I loved Adolf Hitler. And it wasn't just me. There were plenty of people that made this exact same call. You called Ukrainians Nazis? Brother, there have been 7 quintillion moments where I have actively noted that the denazification argument from Adolf Hitler was not even remotely appropriate, okay? Shut the fuck up. Yes, the existence of Azov Battalion does not change that dynamic. Shut up. You called Ukrainians Nazis. I didn't call Ukrainians Nazis, you dipshit. You just got fucking clip farmed because you're a moron. And right now, things are happening and unfolding in front of your eyes that you can't contend. So what do? You lash out at me, okay? Dog watched one clip 3 years ago. And even before then.
For us, it's very important.
There's nothing funnier than Donald Trump basically exploding the ceasefire negotiation that he himself put into place, and there's still sex pestiny dick riders in my fucking chat trying to get a clip out to be like, you called Ukrainians Nazis. Ukraine is literally fucking collapsing, and these guys are more worried about trying to get a clip off. Okay? Oh, I hope he responds to me so I can farm an out of context clip. Like, how you lock in, please? Holy shit.
Of European continent. We have the biggest storage, gas storage. We have the biggest in Europe. Yes, and we can use it. Use it for LNG. We use it for LNG, and we will do it. And really, we can help Europe because Europe really helped. President Trump said that they made less support, but they have our friends, and they are our very supportive partners. They really gave a lot, Mr. President. Yeah, really, they did.
They gave a lot, but they gave much less.
No.
Much less.
No. No.
Don't argue.
No.
Okay.
Okay.
But Mr. President,
Yeah, please.
Mr. President Trump, you have repeatedly called the deal with Ukraine as a historical one. And as a president of the United States, you make historical decisions in other issues which affect America and other world. So what place in the world history do you want to take? And do you associate yourself with any famous historical figures?
Yeah, I'd say George Washington, Abraham Lincoln. I would say I'm far superior to George Washington and Abraham Lincoln. Now, you know I'm only kidding, right? Because when I say that, the fake news is going to go wild. They're going to say he considers himself to be better than Washington. But you never know. You never know. I don't compare myself to anybody. I'm here to do a job. We've had days or whatever it might be, a month, a little more than a month. We've accomplished tremendous amounts. Not only this would be a very great achievement if we could get the war stopped and get them back to normalization. I think that's going to happen. We've had very good talks on both sides, as you know. But I think we've done a very good job, just generally. If you look at all of the things we've done in 30 days, they're saying there's never been a opening for a president. The first month, there's never been a first month like we've had. And this is one of the very important things. This, to me, is one of the most important things because we have tremendous death taking place as we speak. And I don't want to have that. You know, think of the parents, whether they're in Russia or Ukraine, think of the parents of all these people being killed needlessly.
They came to our territory.
Should have never started. This would have, if I were president, this would have never started.
Mr. President Trump,
will you continue sending military aid to Ukraine after the U.S. signs this agreement with Ukraine?
Yeah, we're going to be continuing.
President Zelensky, do you feel like the U.S. is on your side? That President Trump is on your side at this moment?
What do you think?
He wants to know, do you think that, sort of a stupid question. I guess we wouldn't be here if I wasn't. But,
I think that the United States on our side from the very beginning of occupation, and I think that President Trump on our side, and of course, I'm sure that the United States President will not stop support. This is crucial for us. It's important for us. Yes. And Putin, the president speaks about the people and the soldiers which are dying, but they came to our territory, they came to our land. They began this war, and they have to stop. And I think this is the question, was really the most important question. Can President Trump, I hope yes, with some other allies, to stop Putin, withdraw these enemies, our enemy, withdraw these troops from our land? And I think that you asked about the history, I think that if President, or when, he will stop Putin, if President Trump will bring peace to our country, I think he will be on this wall.
We've had very, very good talks.
Mr. President,
President Zelensky just said that there'll be no compromises with Vladimir Putin. I just wanted to ask both of you, firstly, are there compromises that you think that President Zelensky is going to have to make? And President Zelensky, is there anything that you think that you may be able to offer or bring to the table, for example, elections? Thank you.
I think you're going to have to always make compromises. You can't do any deals without compromises. So certainly he's going to have to make some compromises, but hopefully they won't be as big as some people think you're going to have to make. That's all. It's all we can do. I'm here as an arbitrator, as a mediator to a certain extent between two parties that have been very hostile, to put it mildly. They've been very hostile. There's been a vicious war. There's been a vicious war. You know, it's a very level battlefield, and those bullets go out, and as I've said many times, we were talking about it with Pete, many times the only thing stopping those bullets is a human body. And in the case we're talking about, generally young human bodies are stopping a lot of bullets. It's
a poet.
dead level. That's why,
a real poet, dude. Trump is a real poet, okay? Flat land, only thing that stops a bullet is a human body.
Farmland, it's great land, it's great farmland, but there's very little protection against the bullets that are being, and other things that are being shot. So all I can do is see if I can get everybody.
I'm fully on his side, and I don't think he said anything was wrong, but do you feel like, given how important U.S. aid is to Ukraine, Zelensky should have acted differently, glaze Trump/USA more? There is nothing. I just tweeted about this, actually. Interesting question, but there is literally nothing Zelensky can do, nothing in this equation that will stop Trump and his admin from humiliating him. Obviously, our proxies are always powerless in these circumstances, but the decorum is totally broken. No care for diplomacy, the end of American soft power. He did. He literally glazed them. He, at 11:30, 30 minutes ago, Zelensky still posted a tweet being like, "Thank you so much, Mr. America. Thank you so much, at POTUS, for kicking me out. It is okay. We love America." Like, it does not matter. He was glazing him. He was glazing him the whole time. He was. What do you want him to do? What more can he do? He could literally get on his hands and knees and suck Trump off. This dynamic. Look, this is basically the proverbial getting on your hands and knees and sucking Trump off. He said, "Thank you, America. Thank you for your support. Thank you for this visit. Thank you, POTUS, Congress, and the American people. Ukraine needs just and lasting peace, and we are working exactly for that." What do you think this is? This is after he got kicked out, bro. This is after he got kicked out. This is literally a man who is on his hands and knees. And the reality of the matter is, the power dynamic has always been this way, okay? It has always been this way. The difference here is Donald Trump is not even trying to maintain any sort of like optical illusion that we are here, we're in it for defending Ukraine. We're in it for helping Ukraine. Okay? We're in it to help Ukraine out in any capacity. He's just actively saying, nope, not even a little bit. No more carrots, only sticks. Okay? Understand that in terms of the power dynamic between America and Ukraine, this has always been the case. Oh my God. Breaking. NBC reports that the U.S. State Department is ending support for Ukraine's power grid restoration. It is so insane. It is so insane. Are you pro-Ukraine regardless of this? Just curious. What do you mean pro-Ukraine regardless of this? I've always been pro-Ukraine. The Ukrainian people are the ones who are getting fucked over no matter which way this goes. They're either going to get fucked over by Russia or they're going to get fucked over by America. Right now, they're getting fucked over by both at the same time. And in ways that even I did not foresee. Like, this is beyond what I think, beyond what I foresaw happening. Like, it's unbelievable. It is new levels of depravity. Unbelievable shit. He is actively telling our European allies, especially, he's actively telling our European allies, like, you're next. You're fucked. I don't give a shit. I'm not going to help you. You better nut up. You better buy more American weapons pronto. You know, you're on your own. I don't care. This is a change in the trajectory of American foreign policy where we're not going to stop dominating the rest of the planet, obviously, but the ways in which American foreign policy is operated in perpetuity, whether it was the George W. Bush administration or the Obama administration or the Biden administration, American foreign policy has at least always had the image of helping people. America's the world police, but everyone is fine with that because they think like, yeah, you know, ultimately they have our best interest in mind. You know, we're all Western allies. We do it together. He's literally saying like, no, we've never been allies. Like he's dropping the pretext. No more facade. No, know your place. You are a colony. That's what he's saying. And I think this is genuinely worrisome. Okay? It's genuinely worrisome because I feel as though we're moving into the next phase of the downfall of American empire where we will be actively and openly way more violent, way more selfish, way more ruthless. And there won't be any massaging of the truth. There won't be any optics for this. There won't be any like, this is the morally righteous position. Here is why. And do all of this like manufactured consent stuff. None of that. Just saying it's a protection racket and I want you to pay up right now. I don't care. Okay? There's never been a moment where I have advocated for full and utter humiliating surrender for the Ukrainian population. That's ridiculous. I think that a competent administration that came before this Trump one, the Biden administration, because remember, they were the foreign policy geniuses, right? Should have recognized that the upcoming administration is going to really escalate American foreign policy in a scary direction, okay? And not even shelter the world from the most damaging aspects of American imperialism and actively portray it as a good thing, and should have wrapped it up ahead of time, but they didn't. Part of the reason why they didn't is because they don't give a shit, okay? They don't care. The previous administration doesn't care either. They'll say they care on television, but they actually don't care. If they did, they would have wrapped it up. They have all the power. You think Trump is the most powerful American politician? Ukraine has many more soldiers than Russia. Russia is losing 6-1 in Ukraine, but you're wrong, Ukraine. I don't know what to say to this insanity. I mean, this is, I guess, the other side of the consent manufacturing machine where you have deluded yourself.
At the table and get an agreement. And I think we're going to end up with an agreement. Otherwise, I wouldn't probably be even here today.
Will President Putin have to make compromises?
Mr. President, I got two questions for you. You think ultimately your legacy will be the peacemaker and not the president that led?
This is Marjorie Taylor Greene's boyfriend from literally OAN or Newsmax or one of those outlets, by the way. Those are the journalists who are asking these questions.
This country into another war and ended foreign wars. And I've got a question.
I hope it will. I mean, I hope I'm going to be remembered as a peacemaker. This would be a great thing if we could do this. I'm doing this to save lives more than anything else. Second is to save a lot of money, but I consider that to be far less important. So I hope I'm going to thank you, Brian, for that question. It was a nice question. I hope I'll be known and recognized as a peacemaker. This would be a great thing to solve. This is a very dangerous situation. You know, this could lead to a third world war. This was headed in the wrong direction. If this election were lost, if we didn't win this election, and we won it by a lot, that was a mandate. We won every swing state. We won the popular vote by millions and millions of votes. We won everything. The districts, you look at the areas of red, take a look at a map. This was a big mandate, and this was one of the things. I said, we're going to get this thing settled. If we didn't win, I think this could have very well ended up in a third world war, and that would not have been a good situation. What was your second question?
My second question for President Zelensky. Why don't you wear a suit? Why don't you wear a suit? You're the high.
That's crazy. Like, Marjorie Taylor Greene's boyfriend is shitting on Zelensky in the Oval Office in front of the entire press pool, and JD Vance is laughing. The American vice president is laughing about it. Like, dude, that's so crazy. What do you mean? Like, that's a question that like I get why it's funny to many people, but this is not the place for this. And they shouldn't be laughing. What the fuck?
Next level in this country's office, and you refuse to wear a suit. Just want to see if you do own
like getting humiliated like this, like being an American proxy aside, you are no longer just getting humiliated by the president. You're getting humiliated by a presidential dick rider who is like a drunk baboon, okay? Whose claim to fame is fucking Marjorie Taylor Greene. I'm sorry, that is insane. Like, this is there is nothing lower than this, okay? You're getting shitted on by the court jester. Like, yeah, and you can tell it's definitely inappropriate because look at Marco Rubio, okay? Look at Marco Rubio versus this clown ass. Marco Rubio is like, finally, I have secured the reins of the American State Department, and it's under this administration. You know what I mean? I worked my entire life, worked my way up, okay? And here we are. Now I'm in an incredible position of power, and this is the administration that I'm a part of.
Yeah.
Americans have problems with you not respecting.
I don't have such. I will wear a costume after this war will finish. Okay. Yes, maybe something like yours. Yes, maybe something better. I don't know. We will see. Maybe something cheaper than, yeah. Thank you.
President Trump, you said yesterday, thank you, President Trump. You said yesterday that you have...
Are you going to send more arms to Ukraine in case there's no peace?
Yeah, we're going to have arms to Ukraine, yeah, sure. Hopefully I won't have to send very much because hopefully we're going to have it finished. We're looking forward to finishing this quickly. We're not looking forward to sending a lot of arms. We're looking forward to getting the war finished so we can do other things. But we've...
You got to play the Lindsey Graham clips on Fox News. Dude is a full-on Russian asset now, saying Zelensky should be replaced. Ukrainians reported in December that Putin was going to try and push him out, and then here we are today. Brother, Lindsey Graham is not a Russian asset. He is a Donald Trump asset, okay? Lindsey Graham quite literally used to be the best friend of the maverick John McCain. And then Donald Trump famously said, I like my war heroes that aren't captured. Lindsey Graham was very upset about that. That's his best friend. After John McCain died, Lindsey Graham has been up Trump's asshole, following every single thing that he says and does. Okay? Lindsey Graham will say whatever Trump is saying. He will just parrot whatever Trump is saying, but he will try to communicate it in a way that is more professional. That's it. Okay? That's it. That's it. I mean, look, yeah, he's like, oh, Russia is scared. Lindsey Graham says he told Trump that his interaction with Zelensky was the best television he's ever seen. I think that Moscow was more afraid than ever. Why would Moscow be afraid? Like, I think, yeah, here, look at this. Big shit from Lindsey Graham on Fox News now. He said he doesn't know if Zelensky is redeemable. The question for me, for the Ukrainian people, I just don't know if Zelensky can ever get you where you want to go with the United States. Either he dramatically changes or you got to get someone new. He wants...
I just think there's no way the president could have signed that deal, given the way he and JD and...
Like, this man...
Yeah, that's my first match in this. Let me zone in. It's just freak. Warrior, sucker, catch, bitch. The drill's too slow, Jag. Drill is too, I mean, they can do this, but there's no way I'm going to triple kills. And then we think I'd shot shit all over. Alright. This map is insane. It was definitely... It reminds me I don't know if anyone remembers the plane on, which map was that in Cold War? There's like an airplane sitting in the middle of it, you can go up in it. I don't remember what that was. Yeah, like a name related to poker. I can't remember. God damn it. Whatever. But there's like this little an airplane that you're in. It was just in the middle of the map. This feels like the whole map is literally that good. It's actually tired. The airplane felt much roomier. They have like a two separate. You can have like a home. There's not even room, like a room right here. Yeah, they should have named this map Eagle. I feel like I'm just running down, or like two. It's getting smoked. Alright, so I'm just gonna get my submachine gun out. Start blasting because I should just ditch the drill. I'm trying to get triple, I'm trying to get dark spine. Dark spine, oh whoa. Right? That was sick. That was actually, oh, you can get on top too. Whoa! Whoa, whoa, whoa! I don't want to get up here. Good reach. I think that might be the strat though for my. I think it's sneaky.
They never stood a chance.
Yay!
Has been literally up Ukraine's ass before, like in the Obama administration. Him, John McCain, Amy Klobuchar, they would do these joint like foreign policy link-ups in Ukraine. He has stood in front of like the Azov battalion and shit. You know what I mean? He is the guy who very famously said under the Biden administration that you know, this is a great deal for 5% of our military budget. We eradicated 50% of our foreign adversaries' military. Like, he is pro unlimited arms to Ukraine. So how is he? What is he doing here? What's going on here?
In our country were treated. I don't know if you can put it back together. I don't know if you can repair the damage. And I've busted my ass to try to help Ukraine to make sure we help them win a war that would, you know, get this war over in a way that we don't have further aggression. And Donald Trump's the man to do it. I told him this morning. I told him, don't take the bait. Don't let the media or anybody else get you into an argument with President Trump. What he's doing today is resetting the relationship. You should be grateful. Now, whether or not we can put this back together, I don't know. But Zelensky's going to be on your network tonight. If I were him, I would profusely apologize to the way he treated our president and the vice president in the Oval Office and show a little bit of gratitude for what the American people have done.
Senator, how does Moscow and Putin look at this?
Insanity, complete insanity.
Very much appreciate the agreement because we needed what they had, and we're treating, you know, our country is now treated fairly. Biden didn't do that. He didn't know what the hell he was doing. This should have never happened. This should have never started. But, you know, sure, the answer is yes, but hopefully we won't have to send much because I'm looking forward to getting it done quickly, very quickly.
Does that mean you'll provide security guarantees, Mr. President?
I don't want to talk about security yet because I want to get the deal done. You know, you fall into the same trap like everybody else. A million times you said over and over, I want to get the deal done. Security is so easy. That's about 2% of the problem. I'm not worried about security. I'm worried about getting the deal done. The security is the easy part. Security is very nice. Everybody stop shooting. People there. I know France is going to. I know the UK is going to. I know other countries are going to, and they happen to be right next door. We haven't committed, but we could conceive.
Saying security is the least consequential aspect of Russia's invasion of Ukraine is insane. No, man, that's the whole part. That's the entire story. It's not 2%. It's 200% of the story. What are you saying? He wouldn't have to grovel on his hands and knees over here if security was not that big of a issue. Trump is just laying out openly what the relationship between America, the American master, and its foreign puppets has always been, albeit kept usually behind closed doors. No, exactly. But I think that revealing this power dynamic is scary for one reason and one reason only from my assessment. And that is that America is moving into a new direction in terms of how it handles its foreign allegiances. America is moving in a more ruthless and more honest direction. And I think that that will make Americans in general, more violent, okay? That will make America more violent. That will make America's allegiances harder to deal with, okay? It's turning, we're moving into the next phase of our dying empire. That is what I'm seeing. And it's a scary it's a scary thing to examine.
You know, we have security in a different form. We'll have workers there.
No, not an isolationist. No, fuck no. Yeah, isolationist. That's why Donald Trump wants to buy Gaza. That's what you do when you're an isolationist. When you're an isolationist, you continue along with the previous administration that you quote unquote hate, right? You continue along with the agenda of the previous administration to add permanent security assurances and maybe even standing U.S. military to the state of Saudi Arabia, okay? When you're an isolationist, that's what you do. You give them nukes or you move along with the nuclearization of the Saudi grid and also simultaneously offer additional security assurances and potentially even more military troops presence there, okay? When you're an isolationist, you also continue along with the previous administration's agenda of sending billions and billions of dollars of arms to Israel. When you're an isolationist, you actively say the cartel is now known as a terrorist entity, so you can actually drone strike willy-nilly the fucking American southern border, okay, and beyond. When you're an isolationist, you say you're going to invade Greenland and you're going to annex Canada and that Canada is the 51st state of the United States of America. None of that is isolationist. No. That's why I'm saying American foreign policy doesn't change. It just gets worse and worse, more and more violent. Okay? How is any of this isolationist? It's not. It's just a more honest form and perhaps more violent form of imperialism. Bro, I was so wrong about you and a lot of things. I have a lot of learning to do, but I'm trying my best.
Digging, taking
literally everything you said is isolationist. Wait, what? I don't think you understand what the English language, like the dictionary definition of isolation is. If you think that more troop presence all around the globe is isolationist, or annexation of foreign land, sovereign nations is isolationist, you don't understand the word. You don't understand any words, as a matter of fact. Open the schools!
We can create a lot of great product in this country. So in that sense, you have something, but we haven't determined that yet. I will say, in speaking to France and in speaking to, and they were here, as you know, last week and just the other day, they have committed to a lot of security. I don't think you're going to need much security. I think once this deal gets done, it's over. Russia's not going to want to go back, and nobody's going to want to go back.
President Zelensky is shaking his head.
When this deal ends, I really believe this deal is going to be over. Question? Please go ahead.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Thank you so much.
Mr. President, thank you.
Thank you.
Macron and Keir Starmer at the White House this past week, both of whom praised your courage and conviction to lead the pathway towards peace.
Yes.
Part of that involved the roadmap relations, something that previous leaders lacked, the conviction to do so. What gave you the moral courage and conviction to step forward and lead that?
Well, I love this guy. Who are you with?
One American News, sir.
Well,
oh my God!
I like him.
He skipped over CNN's Caitlin Collins to respond to One American News glazed suckfest. Oh my God! Oh my God! Dude, this is a mockery, okay? Yes, access journalism has been the meta for mainstream press for the past multiple decades at this point. There is no more adversarial journalism, but this is, once again, a new level. This is Modi shit, dude. This is straight up. This is like, dude, they're gonna have the Nelk Boys in there. I'm telling you, Nelk Boys are gonna be in the building. Nelk Boys are gonna be a part of the goddamn press pool, being like, Mr. President, what's your favorite flavor of Zin, sir?
Does a great job. That's very. I like the question. I think it's a very good question. It's a pathway to peace. It's a pathway to getting something solved. And I feel that as the head of this country, I have an obligation to do that. Plus, you know, we're very much involved. We got involved. It's too bad we got involved because there should have been no involvement because there should have been no war. And there shouldn't have been October 7th. That would have never happened. As you know, Iran was broke. They had no money to give to Hezbollah. They had no money to give to Hamas. They were stone cold broke. And then under Biden, they became rich as hell. They went from no money to $300 billion in a period of 4 years. And they gave a lot of that money away, and you see what happened. And that's a real mess also that we hope to be able to solve. But no, I appreciate your question very much. It's just, I feel I have an obligation to try and do something to stop the death.
Mr. President, if I can answer. Yes, if I can answer,
Please,
sorry. Please.
And I do like Mr. Rosen.
Yeah, really?
Even though I think he's a great guy, by the way. I don't know if you two like each other, but you know what? I think
No, I like this guy. I don't know.
I think he's dressed beautiful.
So I have more serious things than answer on such questions. I will answer on more serious questions if I can. Yeah. So please, about security guarantees and about just ceasefire. We can't just speak about ceasefire and speak and speak. It will not work. Just ceasefire will never work because I'm like a president. I have this experience, and not only me. Ukraine before my presidency from the 2014, Putin broken 25 times. 25 times he broken.
Trump doesn't like that. Trump does not like that. Don't talk shit on the big dog, okay? Dude, don't do it. Don't do it. He is not liking that at all. Do not bring that up. Oh, my Lord.
Times he broke a ceasefire.
But he never broke to me. Never broke.
No, you were the president. You were the president.
Oh, that's it. Nope, it's over. Okay, that's it. That's the breaking point. He broke the ceasefire agreement while you were president. Done. It's done. All of a sudden, okay, Krasnov activation code. Suka bliat. That right there is the breakout point, because that right there reminded Donald Trump of all the times where he felt wronged by Zelensky, okay? All the times where he's like, who the fuck do you think you are? This has, in some ways, I think that if it wasn't Donald Trump, but still like a brash and bold right-wing reactionary administration, the way that they would handle this, the outcomes would still be the same in terms of, like, you know, mineral deals and bringing Russia to the table, whatever. But the ways in which Donald Trump is communicating here is unique to him, because he is a incredibly narcissistic person who also happens to like authoritarian strongmen. Okay, that's it. He likes Vladimir Putin. He likes Xi Jinping personally. He likes Putin personally. He likes Kim Jong-un personally. He liked Duterte back in the day. He likes those guys. He likes Erdogan. Okay, I'm telling you right now, he likes those guys, and he hates Zelensky because he feels wronged by Zelensky. And for this reason, for this insane reason, he's just like, this over. I'm going to directly shit on you. He likes Modi too. Oh my God, he likes Orban. God damn, there are so many authoritarian strongmen. Holy shit. I feel like with the exception of Western European liberal capitalist nations who Trump hates because they're an extension of the Democratic Party in his eyes, and Zelensky also fits that bill as well, because, you know, they're also an extension of the Democratic Party in his eyes. There are a lot of leaders and more leaders that Donald Trump likes. Anyway, let's continue.
In 2016, you've been the president, Mr. President. You've been the president, but he had, of course, not with you, but he had, during those periods, he had conversations with our side. And we had Normandy format, you know, the France, Germany, Ukraine, and Russia. And he broken 25 times. That's why we will never accept just ceasefire. It will not work without security guarantees. Security guarantees, maybe President is right about this document and other, but this document is not enough. Strong army is enough, because his soldiers afraid, Putin's soldiers afraid of our soldiers when we're strong enough. If we are not strong enough, if we are empty, if our storage is empty, we can't defend our land. Today, you know, He knows that we have all the world knows that we have meeting. Yes, why he's using ballistic? Putin today using ballistic on our hospitals, schools, and etc. Ballistic. So he knows that we are here and that President Trump is really have goodwill to stop this war. And you hear now the president. So why he's using? So he doesn't want to stop. He doesn't want. But I hope that we will do it. Really, we'll do it. Security. When we speak about security guarantees, when the Europeans are ready for contingents, they need USA backstop. If there will not be United States, we will not never have any contingents, strong contingents from the Europeans, because they don't want to divide alliance connection between the United States and the main and strongest ally and Europeans. And this is crucial. This is important. That's what we want to speak about very much. This is very important. And air defense. So air defense, really, we have big deficit with all these systems, and we need to provide this. We need it very much. Otherwise, Putin will never stop, and will go further and further. He doesn't want. He hates us. You know, it's not about me. He hates Ukrainians. He thinks that we are not a nation. He thinks, and he shared these thoughts. I think maybe with your team also. I don't know, but with all the Europeans, in media, officially and not, he always said that there is no such country, such nation, such language, such life like Ukrainian. No, he really doesn't respect all the Ukrainians, and he wants to destroy us. And you are right, Mr. President. That's 2%. This document, maybe other documents. It's a very good start, very good, but it will not enough to stop this person.
Should Russia pay to rebuild Ukraine?
Mr. President, under these...
Should Russia pay to rebuild Ukraine?
They have to pay. This is the rule. This is the rule of the war. This is the rule of the war. During all the centuries, all the history, this is the rule of the war. Who began those...
By the way, every single thing he said in terms of Vladimir Putin, okay, not caring about Ukrainian lives or even caring about Russian lives, or even the fact that he is supposed to pay reparations, is 100% correct. Okay? Make no mistake. It is 1,000% correct. So there is zero things that he said there that is wrong. The problem here is Donald Trump doesn't like that at all, because in his mind, he thinks that Zelensky should shut the fuck up, bow down, and basically say Vladimir Putin is, his hand was forced to invade Ukraine because of the liberal administration's incompetence or something. I don't know. Like, that's... I suspect that that's what he wants. Has it ever been the case that the victor pays reparations? I mean, it's not, you could consider it not reparations, but even like rebuilding. I mean, America did fund the rebuilding of Western Germany. They did. America rebuilt Japan. We did the Marshall Plan. So yeah, even in that situation, yes, America was supposed to also pay reparations to Vietnam, which they never actually followed through on. And that's why they actually created the POW-MIA movement. But that's a totally different story. When it comes to European partners, at least, when it comes to European partners, yes. When it comes to the global south that we dominate and destroy, no. Look at Haiti. Haiti literally was forced to pay reparations after the successful Haitian Revolution to France. Vietnam did not get their reparations either. They made up a totally fake, nonsensical bullshit reason for why they could not pay reparations to Vietnam after destroying that country for 20 years. Afghanistan never got reparations either after invading Afghanistan. And not only that, but also once we handed over the Afghan state back to the Taliban, we then also seized their assets that we were maintaining to the tune of billions of dollars. We froze their assets. Biden did that, by the way, the Afghan thing. So sometimes yes, sometimes no. The major difference here, I would say, is that Ukraine is a European nation. That's what's so unique about the new phase of American empire, is that we are doing this to our Eastern European allies. Remember the difference, like America after the war on terror that destroyed the Middle East, turned around and had the audacity to say, look at what Russia is doing. This is so different. This is so different than like what we've seen before. This is a European country that's being destroyed. What is this, Syria? This is not Syria. You can't just destroy Eastern European nations like this. So for a lot of people in Europe, the dynamic is different. That's why the way that they presented it in the initial phases was the burning of the Eiffel Tower, things of that nature, like all those ads that they had.
Pay.
Do you agree,
This
President
is the rule.
Trump?
Putin began this war. He has to pay all money for innovation. He has to pay. Of course, some Russian assets, what we have in Europe, about 300 billion, we can use them. We can use for innovation and buy military support from the United States also. We can do it, but it's not enough. It's not enough.
I asked this question that you didn't like because I wanted to know.
Brian, wait 1 second.
I asked this question that you didn't like because I wanted to know if you want to position yourself in the middle between Russia and Ukraine or on the Ukraine side.
I'm in the middle. I want to solve this thing. I'm for both. I want to get it solved. And it's wonderful to speak badly about somebody else, but I want to get it solved. If we can solve it, great. If we can't solve it, they're going to have to fight it out, and who knows what's going to happen. But I want to see it get solved.
May I follow up? One more question about U.S. troops in Europe. After Russian invasion of Ukraine, your predecessor sent additional troops to Eastern Europe, including Poland, my country. Are you committed to keeping these troops on the eastern flank of NATO in the future?
I'm very committed to Poland. I think Poland has really stepped up and done a great job for NATO. As you know, they paid more than they had to. They are one of the finest groups of people I've ever known. I'm very committed to Poland.
What about Baltic?
Poland's in a tough neighborhood, you know.
What about Baltic, the Baltic?
Dude, that's a crazy thing to say next to Zelensky. Yeah, Poland is in a very tough neighborhood. I'm sorry, dude, but that's the only thing stopping. The only thing stopping any kind of empire action coming from Russia at this stage is just straightforward their inability to do so. Okay? That's it. They just can't do it militarily. I mean, look, they with enough American weapons and American training and Western weapons and Western training, they did successfully stop the further incursion of Russia. Every step of the way, there should have been a ceasefire and a security assurances, a ceasefire, and normalization of relations, all this stuff. But goddamn, dude, it is. I said this before. Like, America will just fucking sell you down the river. Holy moly!
The Baltics, they got a lot of. It's a tough neighborhood.
Why Russia with ceasefire? What do you mean, dude? Do you think that like there is no attrition on the Russian side? Like, are we crazy? Is that what you think is going on? This is why I said the end of this ceasefire, if Ukraine had more people that they could just like throw into the front lines, I don't think Donald Trump would be pushing for a ceasefire like this. I think that Donald Trump, well, no one would be pushing for a ceasefire in the way that Trump is pushing for a ceasefire. But if the end of this has always, the end of whatever happens in Ukraine was always going to be dictated by the front lines. Okay, that's it.
But we're committed. We're going to be very committed, and we're committed to NATO. But NATO has to step up, and the Europeans have to step up more than they have. And I want to see them equalize, because they are in for far less than we're in, and they should be at least equal. You understand that? Why is the United States, we have an ocean in between, why is the United States in for so much more money and other things as Europe? With that being said, and as you said, they've also been obviously very helpful, but we have put in far more than they have, and I think they should equalize.
Mr. President,
please go ahead.
About the agreement again today, what changed between the first time that Secretary Bessent gave President Zelensky the agreement and today for the signing?
We made a deal. So
What was the deciding factor?
I'm a business person. We made a deal. That's what changed.
A lot of those minerals.
I didn't think we were going to make a deal, and we ended up making the deal, so that changed.
Mr. President, when and how do you envision a trilateral summit with President Zelensky and Putin?
I don't know, but well, they don't like each other. I can tell you that. Okay, they do not like each other. This is not a love match. And
I wonder if people will recognize why I say America bad all the time and then describe the steps in great detail as to why America bad in terms of foreign policy all the time. Maybe they'll come to that conclusion as it's unfolding in front of our eyes. You know what I mean? This is literally the 20-year process between like Afghan Civil War, Operation Cyclone, Afghan Civil War, USSR invasion of Afghanistan, and then all the way to 9/11, except it's happening in a matter of years, like in such a shorter time frame.
It's unfortunate. That's why you're in this situation. The United States should not have allowed this to happen. Okay? The United States, run by a man that didn't know much, I'm going to be very nice, run by an incompetent person, very incompetent person, should never have allowed this to happen. I've stopped wars. I've stopped many wars. My people will tell you, I stopped wars that nobody ever heard about. I stopped wars before they ever started. You can look at some of, I could give you a lot of nations that would tell you right now they were probably going to war. I could tell you right now there's a nation thinking about going to war on something that nobody in this room has ever even heard about. Two smaller nations, but big, still big. And I think I've stopped it. But this should have never happened.
Sorry, just a second. About any negotiations. First of all, I want really to tell you, and I think that everybody understands that.
I wish Zelensky would question Trump with, then why are you giving money to Israel? Dog, do you want them to kill him? Like in the room. He's not going to say that. What are you, crazy? By the way, a big part of why this also accelerated, a big part of like America's allegiances with Ukraine kind of fell apart, even under the Brandon administration, is directly because we shifted our priority and our resources, which are at the end of the day finite. Okay, it's not infinite, it's vast, but our resources are still finite. We've switched our priority to Israel.
Ukraine, more than Ukrainians, nobody wants. But at the future, any negotiations, it's understandable that two sides of the war, not Russia and the United States.
He'll only use Israel as an example of like what should happen to Ukraine.
This is war of Russia against Ukraine and Ukrainian people. So these two sides will be at the anyway will be at the negotiation table. Then of course United States, like the strongest partner of the Ukraine, and of course Europe. I think Europe is very important. I want to speak about it with the president. Yes, Europe is very important for us because we really defend Europe for today. All Europeans really recognize that we are defending the line, and they have real life, and our people are dying. That's why they helped us.
Oh, look at his face.
Also, it's about the NATO. Yes, between, like the president said, you have big, nice ocean. Yes, between us. But if we will not stay, Russia will go further to Baltics and to Poland, by the way. But first to the Baltics. It's understandable for them because they've been in the USSR. You know, they've been one of the republics of the USSR, and Putin wants to bring them back to his empire. It's a fact. And when he will go there, if we will not stay, you will fight. Your American soldiers, it doesn't matter, do you have ocean or not, your soldiers will fight.
Mr. President, would you be willing to visit Ukraine, maybe Kyiv or Odessa, which is going to be at the riviera of the Black Sea?
It was my question.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I don't want to talk about Odessa now. Let's not talk about Odessa. I want to talk about making a deal, getting peace. We don't have to talk about Odessa, but a lot of cities have been destroyed. There are a lot of cities that are not recognizable. There's not a building standing.
No,
and a lot of things
Mr. President, you have to come and to look. No. We have very good cities. Yes, a lot of things have been destroyed, but mostly cities alive, and people work, and children go to school. Sometimes it's very difficult. Sometimes closer to front line. Children have to go to underground schools or online, but we live. Ukraine is fighting and Ukraine lives. This is very important. And maybe it's Putin is sharing this information that he destroyed us. No, he lost 700,000 people, 700,000 soldiers. He lost everything. Yes. So.
Mr. President, when did you last speak
on the minerals deal?
Mr. President, when did you last speak with President Putin, and what did he say that
A couple of days ago.
And what did he tell you that gave you the assurance that he wanted peace?
Well, that's what I do. My whole life is deals. I know pretty good. And I've known him for a long time. I've dealt with him for a long time. He had to suffer through the Russia hoax. You know, Russia was a hoax. It was all Biden. It was nothing to do with him. So he had to suffer through that, and he was able to do that. I think that he wants to make a deal, and he'd like to see it end. That's all I do. That's what I do. My whole life, that's what I do, is make deals. I'm in the middle of a mess, because this is a real mess. It's a very dangerous one. If this doesn't get solved now, it's not going to get solved for a long time. So I hope we're going to get it solved. In the back, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. Prime Minister Starmer claimed repeatedly that his government believes in free speech and was not engaged in censorship. But his country's government arrests people for memes and thought crimes, and even pressuring
get these fucking people out of this room, bro.
On its behalf. How can he be a reliable?
Dude, it's a clown show. It's a fucking clown show, dude. This is the most unserious. Like, who this guy is this a TikToker? Like, who the fuck is this guy? Why are there podcasters in this fucking room, man? What are they doing? This is a very serious conversation that is supposed to be taking place right now. And you got a bunch of fucking right-wing podcast dudes being like, oh, Mr. President, DEI equals die, don't you think? Like, what is going on? What the fuck? He's like, Keir Starmer said that he was, in favor of free speech, but he's actually killing Christians. What are your thoughts on that?
Trustworthy partner when
you can't be serious, yo. Bro said thought crimes, dude. Thought crimes. Like, this is Sargon of Akkad now in the press pool, okay? What the fuck is going on? I'm losing my mind, dude. I mean, this is next level. It's always been non-contentious for the most part, but goddamn, we have moved into the next level here, okay? In terms of like how insane and how devolved American foreign policy is, how insane and how removed from reality we have become.
Says things that are demonstrably false on such an important topic.
That yesterday, and we thought they took it very, very much too far. JD was very strong on it. So was I. So was Marco, and we've been speaking to him about it. Marco, would you like to say something about it?
We have concerns, obviously, with the conduct of those, particularly as it impacts Americans. And there's real concern that American speech, which is online, could fall into the hands of British or any country's jurisdiction. And so this is a point the Vice President made at Munich, and I think it's a very compelling one, that what unites us with Europe, as much as anything else, is these shared values, and one of them being free speech. And so if Americans are threatened by it, we're going to need to take action in that regard.
JD?
I'd say, look,
it's actually a very important question.
We spoke about this in detail with the Prime Minister, the Foreign Secretary, and others at lunch yesterday. And I know that Secretary of Commerce Lutnick followed up in private meetings last night. This is really important. We believe Americans have the right to speak their mind, even if we in this room disagree with them. They have the right to speak their mind in the public square, which is often online these days. And we're going to defend that right as it pertains to American companies and American citizens vigorously if we have to. I do think that under the President's leadership, we're going to find common ground with our friends in the UK on this question, but it remains to be seen. The principle that will guide us is we believe in free speech in this country, and we'll fight for it for American citizens.
Mr. President,
oil and gas component to the deal? Is it all critical?
A little bit. We'll see.
On LNG?
But we're not really looking for that so much. We got a lot. We have more than anybody in the world, by far. So no, we're not talking about it too much, but a little bit. I think it affects also, but for the most part, no.
And sir, is there any agreement from Ukraine to purchase U.S. LNG as part of the deal, or is that on the table at all?
No.
Some of those
We don't need that.
Some of those minerals are in the east, Mr. President.
You just mentioned that you'd spoken to Vladimir Putin a couple of days ago. Just to be clear, that's a new call, not the one that you were
I've
talking about.
spoken to him on numerous occasions.
Okay. And how was the latest call? What did you discuss? How did it go?
Are you serious with that question?
I am. I'd love to know.
It went well. I think we're going to have a deal.
On the minerals deal, Mr. President, some of those minerals are in the east of Ukraine, not far from the front lines and in areas that Russia has occupied. Will you direct President Putin to withdraw his forces from those areas if there's U.S. interest
Well,
there?
we'll take a look at the time. We have a lot of area. It's a very big area we're talking about, so we'll take a look. I'll study that and I'll see.
And who would protect those minerals if they are U.S. interests? Would that be Ukrainian
They'll
forces,
be protected.
European
The agreement
forces?
will protect them.
U.S.
The
forces?
agreement, yeah, we're signing an agreement. You know?
Right, but what if Russia tries to invade or there's Russian aggression in those spots? What would
I
you
just
do
told
then?
you, I don't think that's going to happen. And if that were going to happen, I wouldn't make a deal. If I thought that was going to happen, I wouldn't make a deal.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hello, hello. I can hear you well. How are you?
Checky. Yes. Doing all right. Doing all right. How was your day?
Excellent. Beautiful Friday. Beautiful. I watched another horror movie that came out this year called Cuckoo.
Oh yeah.
Terrible.
Oh. No.
Had potential.
Okay, I heard the name.
Yeah, it came out this year. I mean, I was hearing good things about it, and I watched it, and it was trash. It was trash.
Oh, jeez.
Horrible.
Is it one of those what is it,
Yeah, an A24.
What's the whole 24?
Yeah, the production
Is it
company.
one of those?
No.
No.
I think it was like a German director. There's a lot of Germans in it, but it was like an English language movie, essentially.
Okay.
Main character was American. But, I mean, it had
Any big
potential. It
names
could
in
have
it,
been
or
good,
no?
but it's just like, honestly, I was just kind of waiting to see where it was going. And then just kind of, the ending was kind of, it just, that's the thing about horror movie, man. A horror movie, it has to land like a champion gymnast. You know?
True. Yeah.
Because
there's not any room for error there.
No, I mean, because like,
True.
there's got to be a reason for all of this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even if the reason
Right.
is like to leave you feeling unsettled and like weirded out and like can't sleep that night or something weird. Like even if that's the point, cool. But
Right.
like but when I'm just kind of like, what was the point of that? This was now like, and there's too many questions at the end, you know, which is fun to talk about, but it's also kind of like, I don't know. It was whatever. It was bad. But it's off the list. I'm gonna watch all Long Legs next.
Okay. All right, let me know about that one. That's on my list. I don't know if Cuckoo was on my list. If it is, I'll take it off.
Yeah, I would. I mean, whatever. I can't recommend it. I can't. I hate to be like that. I don't want to tell people not to watch something because people should check shit out.
Hard to find a good horror movie.
Because I'd feel bad if you would enjoy it, but I'm just.
No.
But that's just me. It's just great opinion.
Hopefully it wasn't over an hour and a half.
It is an hour 40. It wasn't worth it. Like I said, it had potential, but it didn't land. It wasn't clear. It was a little convoluted, and like there was just some dumb shit. It sucked. It sucked. I'm pretty mad. But you know what? This is the risk we take when we want to see what's happening in pop culture.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm sorry. What's happening?
True. That's good. Yeah, you can just jump us in there.
You got some challenges.
Got my daily challenges. Oh yeah.
What you doing?
Gotta get hip fire kills, some text kills, headshots with LMG. I got a new LMG that is fresh off the assembly line.
Really? Which one? The Fang 82. I think that's the newest one.
I mean, it's not new. It's new to me.
Right.
It's something I haven't
okay.
leveled at all. Yeah, GPMG7.
They're all the LMGs are in this game. You can do I mean, they're good for. I'm a big fan of hip fire because obviously, like the ADS is like really slow because they're super heavy. If you can have a good setup where, like, if you can set it up where you have a quick like sprint to fire, like doing like hip firing with LMGs, it's a good strat.
Maybe that's why I don't like them so much, because I'm always aiming and
no, which is I mean, I get that.
Well with those.
Which is like it's just the ADS is so damn slow.
True.
But it's
just you're.
If you can just
talking
get the pop
common
out.
sense.
I mean, if you get the fire, if you can fire it off as quick as possible.
Come do it on my own. That makes a lot of sense.
And plus, it opens up the you don't have to put a scope or anything on it. It makes it more of a running gunner.
Well, there's nothing on it right now, so I'm just gonna be hip firing until I can do something.
That's right. You're starting on this one, so very nice. I am working on my last diamond melee. I finished my pistols. I've got dark spine on all my pistols. I've been going through my melees. Dude, I did like 3 melees this morning. Like, I'm a monster with like the knife and the cleaver. Forget about it.
Nice.
And I did the bat, which is a little tougher because it's not a one-hit kill. You gotta smack someone twice with it to kill them. But I was able to finish that, and now I'm doing the drill, and the drill is just it's slow.
Turtle power. I was in a match last night. I don't remember the names of these maps, but it was one of those. It's a real tight map. You're in like basically a series of apartments.
Yeah. Shit. What's the name of that one? I know what you're talking about. Is it like Stakeout?
I don't know, but whatever. You know what I. Maybe.
Maybe.
None of the names ever match up to what they are. Anyway, somebody was fucking had a bat in that game, and I don't know how they were doing it. I remember what you were saying about the bat, and this guy was just wailing on me really fast and killing me, and I was like, what the fuck? I thought he was cheating or something. I was like, how the fuck is this guy doing it that fast?
So he's did you notice like a strat?
No, I mean, I would just be running by the guy in a room and he had the bat and he'd fucking wail on me and kill me almost every single time, even though I had a gun, you know? I was like, how the hell is this even happening?
I mean, you can get the 2 off fairly quickly, but it's like, it's not as easy as like the knife. The knife is lever, just like, you can murder the entire map in seconds.
Yeah, the cleaver, I or a knife, but I was like, after what you told me about the bat, I was like, oh, fuck, I haven't tried the bat, by the way, so I don't know.
It's tough. It's not the best, but it's I mean if you're grinding, obviously gonna get it. But like I said, it's a 2-hit kill as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
And have you messed with the drill yet?
No.
So the drill is its own thing, and it's a little annoying, in my opinion. But you have to get a 1-hit kill with the drill, you have to do left trigger. It's like an ADS, your ADS button. But what it does is like it pulls back the drill, and you start holding down the bit. You're spinning the bit, and then like when you let it go, you hit the enemy, but it kills them with a 1-shot. If you try to hit them with any other like normal melee, like with like the right trigger or like the right stick, it's a 2-hit kill. That's really annoying, awful. So you have to do this thing where you kind of like it's like a wind up. When you hit ADS and it winds it up, and then when you let it go, it hits. And like that's how you gotta play this. If you ever get, I don't know if you.
At the hard point.
or any of the melees. Have you worked on melees yet?
Just the knife. That's it.
Knife's like top
I'll get there.
Just so you know, that and the cleaver. The other two are not as murderous. Even though the drill's not bad, you can like kind of get off like kills pretty quick with it, but it's not like like pop. You're just like stabbing people, murdering them. It just takes it's like because there's like a small animation where you grab the person, then you take the drill and you like drill their under their chin. Basically, it's pretty brutal. But it takes like a half a second to do. And you know, I've gotten killed when I was trying to put off. Like just right now. You get it off, but like yeah, you're stuck in the animation for a second. Yeah, it sucks. So I gotta move out of my apartment, man.
Oh no. Why?
Yeah,
Because
they have the whole
redone?
roof. Yeah, the whole roof over my apartment, the whole third floor ground has to go. Gotta replace it. And I can't be in it. But you know what? They're offering me. There's a place across. You know the like the little courtyard area. Like some of the apartments you can only get to through that area. Like you go inside, but then you have to go outside again to get to the other ones.
Enemy RCXD detected.
One of those on the first floor on the other side of the building is available. And you know, I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna look at it first, of course. And I don't see why it would be in worse shape than my apartment, but you know, if it's at least like as in good a shape as my apartment, I'm almost definitely gonna take it for two reasons. The move will be pretty easy. The heaviest things I have to take are my beds. That's it. I don't have any furniture. Everything else I can like just carry, not even a problem. So the move would be easiest pie. And also like I've hardly stepped in that middle area, and this will give me a reason to go out there. Well, I'll have to go out there because that's how I would get to my apartment. So I think I would maybe start utilizing that area a little more.
Yeah. So this is the same complex.
Yeah, same building. It's just the other side.
Section of it. Yeah.
Like you know, it's kind of like the square. And this side of the square, the whole floor above me is getting ripped up.
Deploying incoming lethal.
So they're either gonna let me out of my lease or like offer that place and then take the place. I love the location, man. I love the location. That's really what it's all about for me.
Yeah, I mean, if you like the area, then fuck yeah, stay there.
I mean, at first I was like a little bummed. Then I was just thinking about it for a while. I think the night, had a couple drinks. I'm like, you know what? Oh, it's probably 99.9% chance I'm gonna take that place. There's gotta be something really fucking wrong with it for me to take it.
Oh, nice.
Oh, you see that?
ADS, yeah, I saw that. Guy's just standing there. Doo-doo-doo.
Shit. Ah! What's your weekend looking?
Let's see. Tonight we're just gonna be watching a movie, probably.
What you watching? Do you know?
Tomorrow I'm gonna. Well, I saw there was a new Bill Burr comedy special on Hulu. I might check that out.
All right. It's Bill Burr's.
He's pretty. Yeah, he's good. Also, there's a new White Lotus. I don't know if you watched it.
I haven't gotten into that yet. I haven't even watched Black
those are
Mirror.
pretty good.
Speaking of colored shows.
Incoming lethal.
White Lotus.
Oh god, Murder Town. Oh. Oh man, I had like 6 guys in front of me, and I had my LMG going, but I think I only got 2 out of the 6. Shit.
Oh dang.
Net call, napalm strike inbound.
I was like,
how many hillfires you gotta get?
I thought I was gonna have a murder fest. I'm actually done. I think I had to get 10.
Nice.
Let's get to the hard point.
I'm not sure if I should go back to aiming or not. Hard not to aim.
Hard point identified.
Yeah, but when it comes to LMGs that I want a running gun, I usually try to get the hip fire as tight as possible. So like, even because I still want to aim down sight, but like if someone runs up on me, like, if I can start firing right away and have a good chance of killing them before I can get all the way down, like ADS. Like if I get all the way to ADS and still gotta keep shooting, I'll keep shooting. But it's kind of like if you can take them out like on the way up,
You want to get out of this alive? Better step up.
kind of very helpful. Especially just because they slow.
Hostile UAV established overhead. Incoming lethal.
I got shit. Trophy down.
Hard point located. Hostiles at the hard point. I see you. Hard point active. Excellent.
Oops.
Yeah, I'm tired of this drill. I've got my SMG. This drill shit.
Point is secure.
Yeah, like I feel like most of the guns are really good in this game. The snipers are great. The ARs are pretty powerful. The SMGs feel nice. Some of like the melees aren't that great.
Hard point identified.
And like the special weapon, what is it, the serum something or other, like that's fine. And the launchers are just okay, but regular guns are like, the pistols are good too, actually. I grinded my pistols like. As long as you have a silencer on there. I couldn't get a single kill with a silencer on my 9mm. I took that up to compensate it else. Just murder spree. Oh, there's a. You remember the movie Creep?
Hard point locked down.
With with I can't remember the actors. You know what I'm talking about. It's in the
yeah. League.
Yeah. What's his name again? I'm sorry. Do you remember?
I'll have to think about it.
Yeah, well, no worries. And there's a third Creep movie. I know they came out with a sequel, and the sequel was good too. I did enjoy the sequel. I don't know if you saw it.
No.
But there's one that came out semi-recently called Creep Tapes. I hear that's good too. I'm gonna have to check that out. I've been on a horror movie thing, I guess, for some reason, but I'm gonna check that out soon after I check out Long Legs.
Haven't you heard? No one thinks that anymore.
Let me know how can't let me know how the Bill Burr special is, but I'm assuming it's gonna be pretty great. Did you ever hear the Bill Burr roasting like the city of Philadelphia?
No. I don't think so.
It's something that really kind of blew him up. Like he was doing a set in Philly, and the crowd was super hostile, and he starts just roasting all of them for like a while, and it's great. I'll send it to you.
Oh yeah. I'd like to see that.
It's fantastic. It's
I love comedians that can do that. That just don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
and just
that's
can
the true
dish
test.
it out. Wow.
I mean, that's
a talent.
It takes. I mean, you gotta be witty. You gotta be on top. You gotta be quick. That's the only way.
Yeah.
Best comedians are quick and witty.
I'm not that. I don't think I'm ever going to be that. I'm okay like sitting behind a computer with a piece of paper in front of me, but thinking on my toes is not my strong suit.
I try. I'm willing to do it, but I get flustered sometimes. Like with the right winger at UIC. My whole fuck off at the end, it's like it was a bit like I'm getting angry. Just fucking go, kind of, you know.
Well, I missed you broke up there. It was just like you're
like my
just ran out of gas or whatever.
Or just like I was getting pissed. So just like I'm just gonna walk away.
Frustrated.
Just fuck off. You know. I feel like it's bad.
Use of deadly force has been approved.
I let myself get too juiced up.
We've taken the lead. Stay on task.
Oh man. I gotta get headshots of the LMG. Oh boy.
Oh, okay.
I didn't realize that. I thought I just had to get kills.
Maybe it's well, it's still pretty low.
I got the hip fires.
Right, you probably don't have a lot of scopes or anything. You might want to try to get a range set up. Get those headshots. Honestly, you can get headshots pretty easily, even if you're on angle. On accident. Half the time.
One of our teammates just shot me and he got the Arnold fuck you off. So. Even swears at his own teammates. Here's a headshot.
Heads up! Kill.
Let's get rid of that. Yeah, it's the way we do it. Come on. Fuck. Shit.
Kill confirmed.
Working on any music?
Today, I'm actually going out to Elmhurst tomorrow to do a little jam with my brother and my friend Blair. We didn't really settle on a whole bunch of songs in enough time to do anything real good, but I was working on
They're not getting up.
The song Blue by Nirvana.
Oh, awesome. Great song.
And I tabbed out Anarchy of the UK in case I'm going to do that parody version of it at some point. I'm going to try that maybe. Yeah, I got to get to making some original music. I keep it off. I got lots of riffs written down in a tab book, and I always write stuff down when I come across something. I'm like, oh, this is pretty interesting. I'll write that down. But then I don't really do a whole lot with it. That's where I get stuck. through.
I've never had to like really write down tabs. I think the real key, I mean, you gotta have like a means way to like finish material. You know what I mean? Like when I first started writing music and start playing music in general, like my best friend was named Ramon, and he had a drums, like he was learning how to play drums, and basically like we both started learning how to play music together. We were both into Metallica and stuff, so we're like, let's learn how to play, and it went pretty well. And we were actually both in regular band. I was playing the clarinet, he was playing baritone, so we both had musical backgrounds anyway, and at least like a modicum of musical training. We're like, yo, let's make metal, and so we kind of like learned how to play together. So it's like when I was like writing riffs or making riffs, like I was like playing along with him at the same time, and eventually we like a song would come together fairly easily. So the closest thing I think I got to tablature was like, do this 4 times, do this 16 times. I think that's the closest I've gotten to using tab, is like memorizing how many times doing something.
I just like, if I'm fucking around on the guitar and I come up with a riff, I don't want to forget it.
I get
so
that.
That's why I just write down literally just one bar of or two or
But
whatever,
you have the means to record, right?
Yeah.
But do you forget how to play it, even if you have it recorded?
Well, I'll do both. I'll do both. These days I do both. So I'll like record it on my iPhone.
Okay, yeah, sure.
And then I'll write the date. I write the date as the name, like base and February 3rd or whatever.
It's very thorough.
Then I'll write the tab down and match it up. Yeah, so I have like both. I have the audio and the tab. Because yeah, looking at tabs, sometimes you're not going to know exactly how it goes necessarily.
5 kills.
Hey. That's good. That's actually pretty good.
It's like coming up with the second part of the song is where I usually fall apart.
I would definitely use tabs if I was like a cover. Like those were nice actually, because like you could see like exactly how the song's played. Because for the most part, you try to figure songs out by ear, and a lot of times you wouldn't be correct. It'd be a little off, and you wouldn't even know. So those tabs sometimes really would enlighten you on how certain songs were played, for sure.
Yeah, I like to, if I can, I like to find the actual tablature something.
Oh, for sure.
Learn from that.
I've just never tabbed up my own
My
shit.
brother's got a really good ear, but
I just never tabbed up my own. Like I just like, it's kind of like, like just I'd get a riff. I'd write riffs, and I like if it rocked, I wouldn't forget it.
Hellstorm strike authorization Bailey.
And I would like practice regularly with the drummer and play those riffs. And
yeah, if you were doing it regularly, for sure, you gotta remember it. I mean, like when I was in a band, we never like wrote down anything. We just played the song enough times. We just knew how it
so
went.
you know how it is.
Yeah. And on my own, usually making stuff. So
I'm kind of at a point in my music production where it's kind of like I don't really have to remember how shit's played. Once it's recorded, it's like I'm done.
They were already dead.
All I have to do is keep that audio file.
Yes,
I don't have to know how to play anything.
Right, there you go, yeah. Press play. Right?
Oh, hey, woo!
Hey,
Here we go.
Let's
see what... What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? That was not a great play. That was one. I did not deserve it.
And now.
Yeah, what is it? Yeah.
That's
Oh,
all right.
Team Top 2.
Team Top 2. Oh, dude. Lined up with this guy.
Oh.
Let's go.
I tried to hit the dance button.
No,
but
it's all right.
the other one.
I've been going pretty random.
I almost danced.
It's all right. If you would have hit that dance, if we were all three dancing,
yeah, that would have been hilarious. I'm so sad I didn't hit that button.
Well, hey, it's past 8. Did you have to get going?
Let's do one more match because I want to see if I can finish up these challenges.
All right, what else you gotta do?
Gotta get one more. I gotta do one more LMG headshot and four Semtex lethal kill.
Oh, easy peasy.
I get a small map.
Just slap people with it. Get right in their face. Just slap them with a Semtex. And that's it's a little more forgiving than the impact grenade. I had those early. I had impact grenades, activate 5 score streaks, and sniper headshots. Easy peasy. Love the snipers.
Yeah, I'm kind of just doing daily challenges and leveling up the guns that way. If I'm playing over the daily challenges, then I don't know. Sometimes I'm just sticking with the gun that I've been working on in the daily challenge just because I gotten kind of used to it for the day. So
yeah,
I'm kind of doing this weird, like, just kind of covering all of the guns very slowly. I'm not focusing on any particular thing, but I'm making progress.
But you're making it's still. I'm going like hyper speed, dude. Like excuse me. I'm burning through it, admittedly. Like I feel like I'm gonna be.
You got the fever.
Got that fever. No, it's just a nice grind. It's not like the others. It's mostly headshots. I'm gonna be honest. Having to do all those headshots has made me better. So I'm pretty much just going for headshots now, and it's a good strategy. Kill people pretty quick when you hit them in the face.
What's the haps?
Oh, fuck you. Damn it.
So the Ninja Turtles are naked, basically. They're wearing belts and they have no pants.
Is that true in the cartoons too?
I don't know, probably. I'm thinking about it. Childhood ruined.
Never thought about it.
I just died on my own body. The time I died before was still sitting there. So
I've done that.
Hate that shit.
Return to the scene of the crime and
Yeah.
they waited for you.
Oh, get
For the
flanked.
pizza party. You've never tangled with a turtle before.
Come on. I'm trying to get this headshot and I'm like aiming, you know, at his head, and of course it's going like over his head and he kills me. Like, oh, damn it. I was right behind the guy. He wasn't even looking at me and I couldn't fucking kill him. One more fucking headshot. And then I can do this all as Semtexes. Come on. Yes, I got that shot. Thank you. Done. Now it's time.
Using lethal.
Semtex slappy.
Semtex slap. Spanky spanky slap. Semtex. Sem slaps.
I literally just threw my, what do you call that? The spring grenade?
Yeah, spring mine.
Threw it on a couch where no one was going to ever.
Hey, they might sit down for a second.
Sure they will.
Kick a load off, and then whoop, spring mine.
Yeah. Yeah. It'll be like a whoopee cushion, except you'll die.
Yeah, except it blow you to fucking red little bits.
It'll be the most hilarious prank.
Way
ever.
funnier than Old Edition.
You'll laugh so hard you'll die.
Literally. Now, if I was gonna die, laughing would be the way to go. But like a real laugh, not like a tickle laugh. That would suck me. Tickle to death.
Belly laugh. Oh, a laugh cry.
Yeah, like something so goddamn funny. Like you laugh so hard. Your heart stops. And you just die happy. It's great. It's the way to go, man. It's the best we got.
Signing in on enemy poetry. Seeds of power.
Trying to take on a stupid chopper with my SMG. I should probably stop.
Oh man.
I'm rocking the PPSH-41 and it's taking me back to Vanguard. Okay.
Oh man, come on.
Honestly, I set up my SMGs pretty much the exact same way I set up my LMGs.
Dude!
Like I kind of set up my SMGs to fire as well. I do the same strat way. I start firing right away and pull up the ADS. Well, you know, I usually can take them out before I even get fully down to ADS. I think I just like SMGs better because you can, it doesn't slow you down as much when you run. LMGs like literally make you run slower.
Yeah. Cumbersome. You can feel it.
A bit. Oh, I went on the bullet train map. Have you gone on that yet?
No.
Oh, there's. Oh, I forgot. Yeah, we should. I don't know if you have time, but if you're on tomorrow, hit me up. Let's. Or if you get time, you're on. Try it out. It is tight, and not in like a hip hop. Yo, that's just tight. No, I mean it's like tight, like a pair of pants.
I think somewhere. Real close quarters.
So, yeah, I mean, you know, I was trying to remember the name of the map that was in Cold War that had like the it was like inside a hangar almost, and there's like an airplane in the middle, and you can like go into the airplane and fight. You remember that? I can't remember. I think it was like a chess name or something. Like Checkmate or something.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Is that yeah? Okay.
It could be it.
If the whole map was like that airplane and like just long, but even tighter. It was even tighter than the goddamn airplane. Dude. Like the airplane had almost like you could have like a separate, almost like two rooms, you know, next to each other. They don't. It's too tight to even do that on this thing. On the bullet. What's the name of the map? Bullet.
This fits first song they ever wrote. Bullet.
Oh, was it? Nice.
Hostile UAV established overhead.
I've been wanting to do a gamer tag with like 138 since like the last 5-6 years.
been my my Yahoo email for a long time. Matthews 138.
Oh, yeah. So we are.
Hostile LDPR drop detected.
Using lethal.
Yeah, I don't have too many plans this weekend either. I'm gonna start cleaning out, you know. I'm gonna get my shit together. It's gonna be nice. I'm gonna take like a bunch of shit to storage. And it's just gonna be. So as long as the place isn't like fucking trash. Something seriously wrong with it. Way.
So they're going to be like, what are they going to do? Rehab the
yeah, the whole
side, or
yeah, pretty much they're ripping up this whole side of the building. Gonna rebuild it. The third floor is fucked, I guess. So they're gonna rip up the whole third floor and basically rip up the ceiling over the second floor. And some of the second floor is fucked too. So there's they're rebuilding all that. I talked to the building man today.
Well, hopefully it won't be too loud when they're doing all that stuff, but
it won't be so bad.
Then again,
I was worried that they're gonna be working on shit and I would still be in this apartment. Like that would be super loud. But if I'm on the other side of the building, I mean, it would be better than being like
the other side, yeah, for sure.
And it's gonna give me a reason to hang out in the middle area. Spring is right around the corner. Maybe I'll actually meet some neighbors. Maybe I can be social.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a new day. It's a new day.
Yeah. Well, if you need any help moving anything, let me know.
Oh, I appreciate it. I've literally set up myself up where moving would be really easy to do. Moving the beds will be a pain. So if there's any if there's an opportunity to help with that, that'd be cool. But I might be able to manage on my own if I've got like this roller
just give me
thing.
a heads up.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I don't know what I don't have like a timeline yet. So, but I'll let you know. And like I should have a housewarming party.
Cool. Yeah, we'll come check out the new digs.
There you go. You'll like it. It's like a restart. Awesome. Well, hey, have an excellent evening. Did you finish your challenges?
Yeah, I did. Thank God.
Well, so, wait, did you say what you were watching? No.
I think we're gonna. I don't know. I'm gonna try to convince her to watch the Bill Burr comedy
That's
special.
Right. Cool. Yeah. Let me know how it is.
Or White Lotus.
Oh, thank you for reminding me,
man.
I'm going to send you him.
Oh yeah, right. Yes, fully. Thanks.
All right, excellent. Awesome. Well, hey, dude.
Cool.
Have a good night. Hit me up tomorrow if you get any time, man. I know how Saturdays are, but you know, I'm gonna be chilling.
Yeah, and I'm gonna try to get you in the afternoon, so we'll see.
Sounds good.
All right. Have a good night.
Talk to you soon.
But you don't stop talking, do you? Like, fuck it, I'll just cook this side for a while, just... Donuts, you know what's funny?
Because Furby came out around the same time as like Tamagotchi, and fucking, you know, like all the other Neopets were another one that had the little tiny things. And then there were those. You should have the dino eating the walrus. That's a little tiny walrus, though.
I'm cooking my brain talking about nothing. I'm just walking around like, yeah, I just got a cheeseburger. Oh, fuck all you people. You know what, you fucking losers? I hope you all fucking die, and I hope the fucking Eagles never win the Super Bowl. Go fuck yourselves. Fuck all you motherfuckers, and fuck the Friars. Fuck all of you. Fucking goddamn fucking losers. Boo and Dom Herrera. Suck a dick. All of you. Suck a fucking dick. How's that? No, I'm segueing into my next joke. You can all lick my fucking red nuts. All of you. You can line up in your Harold Carmichael fucking jerseys, and one at a time, you can all suck my dick. City of brotherly love, you bunch of fucking cocks. Just walking around again. Fucking goddamn losers. 52 fucking hours into a show. The fuck am I gonna do at this point? You people on a goddamn acid. Fucking be up here talking about Hitler. That ain't gonna work. What do you want me to talk about? Wait, throw out some topics. Let's talk about heart disease. Something you're all gonna fucking die of, and I'm gonna laugh at your fucking funerals. It's gonna be great. You're all gonna get fucking cancer, which is fantastic because all your fucking heads are shaved anyways. No one's even gonna notice. You're gonna get fired for coming to work too late because they're not gonna notice that you have fucking bone marrow cancer. The only thing that's gonna give it away is me laughing at you in the fucking background. You fucking bunch of losers with your fucking cell phone pictures. Fucking suck a dick. Fucking assholes. 11 more minutes of this. I hope you all get in your Ford Focuses and fucking drive off the side of that faggot ass Ben Franklin bridge. You fucking one bridge having piece of shit city that no one gives a fuck about. The terrorists will never bomb you people because you're fucking worthless and no one cares about you. You are this high above New Orleans. No one gives a shit. FEMA would never show up for you fucking assholes. I hope your mother has herpes in the center of her asshole and you go home tonight, you lick it, you get it on your tongue, and some other horrific shit happens that involves cancer. So all of you, 11 minutes left. 11 minutes. I hope somebody takes a fucking beer stein and just slaps you on the back of your zit-infested fucking shoulders and your awful man-tit tank tops. I hope that happens to you. I hope the glass fucking digs into your fucking shoulder blade. And then I see you afterwards. Hey, how's it going? You enjoy the fucking show? That's great. And I grab you by the fucking hair, but you don't have any. Did it really have to come to this, people? Did it really have to come to it? I really hope all of you run into all those black people that you love so much here in Camden. I really hope that happens. I hope there's a line of all of you guys getting fucking carjacked and they take out their big black dicks and they just shove them right in your fucking mouths, each and every one of you, and somehow they just keep repeatedly coming right in your fucking eyeballs until it builds up so much that your eyes they fucking crust over. You can't see shit. And somehow there's another dick in there for you to suck. 10 minutes left. Look at you. This is what you want. This is what you want. It's a fucking bunch of fucking losers. Fucking Rocky is your hero. The whole pride of your city is built around a fucking guy who doesn't even exist. You got fucking Joe Frazier is from there, but he's black, so you can't fucking deal with him. So you make a fucking statue for some 3-foot fucking Italian, you stupid Philly cheese eating fucking jackasses. I hope that cheese melts your fucking faces off. All of you collectively suck a fucking dick. What a fucking booby. 9 hours into a fucking show. Look at you in your fucking Donovan McNabb shirt. I hope he snaps both his fucking ankles in the first goddamn game. I hope you go 0 and fucking 16. I said suck a dick. 8 minutes left. 8 fucking minutes left. The Flyers, do they even fucking exist anymore? Bunch of goddamn pansies. Haven't won shit since fucking Gerald Ford was in office. Why don't you just have the fucking ice capades down there, you assholes? You probably won't even notice the difference. That fucking pussy teams. Remember they had that whole season where they wore the slacks? You bunch of faggots. What else? What else? I attacked your mothers. It's 8 minutes. I'm doing it all. I'm fucking standing here. Look, I broke the mic stand. I got a little fucking cane now. I'm gonna be the little observational comedian up here. What's that, sir? What do you have to say, sir? Never passed the fucking 8th grade. What brilliant shit are you gonna fucking tell me, huh? Go back to the dock and go unload some shit. You fucking warehouse working, weed smoking, fucking disappointment for your mother. 7 minutes left. 7 motherfucking minutes left. And I'm doing all fucking 7. You fucking assholes. Fucking standing backstage for 3 hours to get booed by this GED fucking stupid ass piece of shit fucking crowd. Bunch of fucking losers. I hope your fucking radios fall on your head tomorrow. The fucking antenna goes right in your fucking ears. You fall out of one of those piece of shit buildings. Fuck all of you and fuck the Liberty Bell. And shove it up Ben Franklin's ass. What do you think about that? All of you motherfuckers. I hope that bridge collapses onto your pathetic lives. Go fuck yourselves. 6 minutes left and I will be selling my CD after this shit, you motherfuckers. And the only way you get one is if I throw it at your fucking stupid heads. You bunch of racist fucking morons. Look at this. What are you taking a picture of, E-Rock, huh? This is the most, I'm saying all the shit I wanted to say for 14 minutes. This right here is the theme of my set. A broken mic stand. 3 motherfucking minutes left. 3 fucking minutes left. What's left? The Phillies, that faggot ass team named after a female horse. You bunch of pussies. You won 1 fucking World Series since 1880s. Suck a dick. Bring Tug McGraw back from the dead, you fucking jackasses. Maybe you'll win another one. It ain't ever happening. It ain't ever fucking happening with your red candy striped faggot fucking uniforms. Your team should be selling cotton candy in the fucking instructional leagues. The other soccer team? That's all I got left, huh? You got a fucking ping pong team? Some other shit-ass fucking team that's never gonna win a championship? You guys haven't won a Super Bowl since they had face masks, you fucking
I don't condone the use of the F slur.
Roman Gabriel running around
Weird
a fucking
power.
leather helmet. Ah, suck a dick. Was he your dad or something? You don't know who the fuck he is. I had my fucking shirt for this shit. Went to the Banana Republic, picked a $20 shirt off the rack. Absolutely fucking ridiculous. Getting booed by people sitting in the fucking grass. Goddamn launch seats. It's fun, isn't it? It's great. I'm actually getting fucking paid right now, people. I'm getting fucking rock t-shirts of bands that no one gives a fuck about. 4 minutes left. You with your Rush fucking t-shirts. I beat the shit out of my girlfriend. That felt great. It really felt great. I want to thank you guys for having me. You guys were phenomenal. Each and every... Oh, no, I got 4 minutes left. I got 4 fucking minutes left to fucking talk about you cunts. That's not bad. That's not bad. 12-minute rant. That was the first time I said cunt. That's a fucking record. I'm going to finish my set by taking this mic stand base like a fucking disc. I hope I hit a baby in the fucking head. The one fucking kid who would actually go to college in this fucking crowd. What's that, sir? Dave Chappelle, yes, he's not here. I wish I was on his fucking tour right now. Maybe I wouldn't have a bunch of cunts not fucking paying attention 4 hours into a goddamn show. 3 fucking minutes left. 3 minutes left in this motherfucking tirade. What's that? Sir, why are you screaming? You're in the front row, you dumb fuck. God, I hope this whole crowd, I just hope mass AIDS, full blown, like fucking you get weak as you walk to your fucking cars, you just pass out, and they just find you next to your 83 fucking Monte Carlo with gravel embedded into the side of your fucking bald ass fucking heads.
Bill.
Yes.
What about Vincent Papalio?
What about what?
Vincent Papalio.
What about not fucking interrupting me, you jackass? That was
Patrice's idea, sorry.
I'm fucking trying to deal with this bullshit. Jesus Christ, the goddamn people on the show are giving me shit. So anyways, back to the jokes. I got a computer recently, people. Fucking motherfuckers. I put in 2 minutes left. The last 2 minutes is gonna be my rider for the rest of this fucking tour. I go on first, I do 3 minutes. That's it. I come out here with a fucking gun, right? That's what I do. I come out with a fucking gun, hollow tip bullets, and I just start fucking shooting people, okay? And everybody's chained to their fucking chairs. I just blow all your fucking brains out, like just one after another. Just fucking walk 2 to the back of the head. Never ending. Coming out like a fucking Mexican with those 2 fucking crosses of bullets. I just blow all your fucking brains out. I would really enjoy blowing everybody's brains out. Just fucking, just the next day, somebody mopping up the 3 pounds of fucking brains that are actually in this goddamn crowd. 1 minute left in the period. All right, listen. This doesn't change anything, this set. I still fucking hate you people. I hate this fucking city. I hate the way you eat, your little shitty-ass fucking Subway. And why don't you fucking build something for Joe Frazier and get that fucking idiot. You guys all gonna go see Rocky 19? Oh, dude, I think you can win. Listen, I'm out of time. You guys were here, man. Thank you very much. All of you go fuck yourselves in your own assholes. Have a good night. Thank you very much.
That was beautiful anger. There's never been anger more beautiful than that. Straight up.
It looks like it's that time of year again, where I sporadically return to the so-called comedian known as Amy Schumer, as she recently released something that could be referred to as a comedy movie through Netflix. I'm going to keep this one relatively short and to the point, because Amy Schumer's Kinda Pregnant has already been a pretty significant waste of my time, and I don't feel like watching it again. The best way to describe this movie would be to say that it brings nothing to the table. It's not funny, which goes without saying because Amy is credited with writing the screenplay, but it's also not interesting or original. In most ways, it's rather formulaic and follows the conventions of a 2000s red text comedy. Our main character, Lainey something or other, I don't remember her last name, gets thrown a curveball early on in the movie when she believes her longtime boyfriend, Dave, is going to propose to her. In reality, he just wants to have a threesome. This sets Laney off on a new course in life in much the same way as a guy in a 2000s comedy learning that his girlfriend is cheating on him. At the same time, Laney learns that her friend and fellow teacher, Kate, has become pregnant, as did another teacher, the much younger Shirley. Around the same time, Laney meets a man named Josh, played by Will Forte, at a coffee shop. You can predict where that plot thread is leading because everything in this movie is badly telegraphed. While at the mom store with her friend Kate, Laney tries on a fake pregnancy belly, which she then steals to pretend to be pregnant because she is jealous of her friend. You know, normal things everyone does. Also because shoplifting is a time-honored tradition in the Schumer household. Just a slight point of order here, probably the most unrealistic part of this movie to me is the idea that Amy would need a prosthetic belly to appear pregnant. If I were a gambler, I'd bet she regularly has people stop her to congratulate her or ask when she's due. But Amy's narcissism shines through quite a bit during this movie. Most of the fatty falls down kind of material is relegated to another character, the guidance counselor Fallon, who seems to only exist in this movie to make Amy look smaller by comparison. It also seems like they very transparently wanted Rebel Wilson for this role until they realized she's actually smaller than the old Shoomhound. Amy does a couple of comedic pratfalls in the movie that are almost exclusively about her falling flat on her fake pregnant belly, but none of them really work in my opinion. Very little of the comedy in this movie works, actually. Before I went into this, I got a notebook out to write down any time I laughed, and by the end of the movie, it was still blank. To only exist in this movie to make it through quite a bit during the realistic part of this movie to me is the stopper. His narcissism shines through quite a bit during to only exist in this movie to make Amy look smaller by comparison. It also seems like they very transparently wanted Rebel Wilson for this role until they realized she's actually smaller than the old Shoomhound. Amy
Rebel
does
Wilson
a couple of comedic pratfalls in the movie that are almost exclusively about her falling flat on her fake pregnant belly, but none of them really work in my opinion. Very little of the comedy in this movie works, actually. Before I went into this, I got a notebook out to write down any time I laughed, and by the end of the movie, it was still blank, which isn't really surprising. To even call it comedy is really stretching the meaning of the word. It's mostly quote-unquote jokes about bodily functions. Most of the jokes in this movie amount to potty mouth Amy swearing or performing some kind of toilet thing, such as when she goes to a mommy yoga class and the instructor tells everyone to breathe in through their vagina and out through their buttholes, which is followed by a chorus of fart noises.
And exhale through your butthole.
Apparently, Amy Schumer's understanding of the human anatomy is on par with her understanding of comedy.
Ow, the anus butt.
It's so stupid and poorly executed that I was actually reminded of the fake trailer for Fatty's Part 2 from Tropic Thunder. Except that's unfair because that was supposed to be satire on lowbrow fart humor like the Clumps, whereas a group of women passing ADR farts was a legitimate scene from Kind of Pregnant meant to be taken as comedy. The mommy yoga class scene does lead to some plot progression, as Amy falls over gut first onto the floor. Afterward, she converses with another woman named Megan, and because this is a poorly written movie, they just immediately become friends. The biggest sin of this movie is that it's a comedy that isn't funny. But second place would be that everything that happens is some kind of plot contrivance or coincidence. It's a coincidence that Laney finds the fake belly. It's a coincidence that she meets Megan and immediately becomes friends. It's a huge fucking coincidence that Megan's brother turns out to be Josh from the coffee shop. And due to plot contrivance, they also start to fall for each other during the vague timetable of events that happen in this movie. Most of the middle of this movie is taken up by Laney having to keep up the ruse that she is pregnant. But when you think about that, it makes no sense. She is only lying to two people, a random woman she met a few weeks ago and has no obligations to spend time with, and that woman's brother. It's sheer coincidence that they keep bumping into each other and that any of these shenanigans happen. For instance, both of them being in the same toy store in New York on the same day at the exact same time, which forces Laney to hide. And I think I understand how they landed on such a contrived plot. In real life, the story of a woman faking being pregnant and then befriending an actually pregnant woman is usually less of a zany romantic comedy and more of an episode of a true crime podcast. These things tend to end in an abrupt box cutter C-section as a desperate attempt to head off a series of lies collapsing in around you. The writers of this movie were Amy and a woman who had, no joke, a single other writing credit for a 4-minute short 16 years ago. And it appears that they tried to sidestep the psychological thriller undertones of this movie by having Lainey never interact with her family or friends. Want to know why? Because she doesn't have any.
I don't have family, so I don't want to be alone.
Her mother died when she was 6 years old, and as far as I can recall, no other family members are ever mentioned. No father, no siblings, aunts, uncles, cousins, grandparents, and over the course of this movie, she is only shown to have one friend, Kate. That is genuinely fucking creepy. In their attempts to avoid the investigation discovery logical ending to this plot, they accidentally painted themselves into a far more bizarre and unsettling backstory about a woman with no relatives and a single best friend that she immediately becomes jealous of when she gets... It looks like it's that time of year again, where I sporadically return to the so-called comedian known as Amy Schumer, as she recently released something that could be referred to as a comedy movie through Netflix. I'm going to keep this one relatively short and to the point, because Amy Schumer's Kinda Pregnant has already been a pretty significant waste of my time, and I don't feel like watching it again. The best way to describe this movie would be to say that it brings nothing to the table. It's not funny, which goes without saying because Amy is credited with writing the screenplay, but it's also not interesting or original. In most ways, it's rather formulaic and follows the conventions of a 2000s red text comedy. Our main character, Lainey something or other, I don't remember her last name, gets thrown a curveball early on in the movie when she believes her longtime boyfriend, Dave, is going to propose to her. In reality, he just wants to have a threesome. This sets Lainey off on a new course in life in much the same way as a guy in a 2000s comedy learning that his girlfriend is cheating on him. At the same time, Lainey learns that her friend and fellow teacher, Kate, has become pregnant, as did another teacher, the much younger Shirley. Around the same time, Lainey meets a man named Josh, played by Will Forte, at a coffee shop. You can predict where that plot thread is leading because everything in this movie is badly telegraphed. While at the mom store with her friend Kate, Lainey tries on a fake pregnancy belly, which she then steals to pretend to be pregnant because she is jealous of her friend. You know, normal things everyone does. Also because shoplifting is a time-honored tradition in the Schumer household. Just a slight point of order here, probably the most unrealistic part of this movie to me is the idea that Amy would need a prosthetic belly to appear pregnant. If I were a gambler, I'd bet she regularly has people stop her to congratulate her or ask when she's due. But Amy's narcissism shines through quite a bit during this movie. Most of the fatty falls down kind of material is relegated to another character, the guidance counselor Fallon, who seems to only exist in this movie to make Amy look smaller by comparison. It also seems like they very transparently wanted Rebel Wilson for this role until they realized she's actually smaller than the old shoehound.
Oh, hey.
Amy does a couple of comedic pratfalls in the movie that are almost exclusively about her falling flat on her fake pregnant belly, but none of them really work in my opinion. Very little of the comedy in this movie works, actually. Before I went into this, I got a notebook out to write down any time I laughed, and by the end of the movie, it was still blank, which isn't really surprising. To even call it comedy is really stretching the meaning of the word. It's mostly quote-unquote jokes about bodily functions. Most of the jokes in this movie amount to potty mouth Amy swearing or performing some kind of toilet humor, such as when she goes to a mommy yoga class and the instructor tells everyone to breathe in through their vagina and out through their buttholes, which is followed by a chorus of fart noises.
And exhale through your butthole.
Apparently, Amy Schumer's understanding of the human anatomy is on par with her understanding of comedy.
Ow, the anus butt.
It's so stupid and poorly executed that I was actually reminded of the fake trailer for Fatty's Fart 2 from Tropic Thunder. Except that's unfair because that was supposed to be satire on lowbrow fart humor like The Clumps, whereas a group of women passing ADR farts was a legitimate scene from Kinda Pregnant meant to be taken as comedy. The mommy yoga class scene does lead to some plot progression, as Amy falls over gut first onto the floor. Afterward, she converses with another woman named Megan, and because this is a poorly written movie, they just immediately become friends. The biggest sin of this movie is that it's a comedy that isn't funny. But second place would be that everything that happens is some kind of plot contrivance or coincidence. It's a coincidence that Lainey finds the fake belly. It's a coincidence that she meets Megan and immediately becomes friends. It's a huge fucking coincidence that Megan's brother turns out to be Josh from the coffee shop. And due to plot contrivance, they also start to fall for each other during the vague timetable of events that happen in this movie. Most of the middle of this movie is taken up by Lainey having to keep up the ruse that she is pregnant. But when you think about that, it makes no sense. She is only lying to two people, a random woman she met a few weeks ago and has no obligations to spend time with, and that woman's brother. It's sheer coincidence that they keep bumping into each other and that any of these shenanigans happen. For instance, both of them being in the same toy store in New York on the same day at the exact same time, which forces Lainey to hide. And I think I understand how they landed on such a contrived plot. In real life, the story of a woman faking being pregnant and then befriending an actually pregnant woman is usually less of a zany romantic comedy and more of an episode of a true crime podcast. These things tend to end in an abrupt box cutter C-section as a desperate attempt to head off a series of lies collapsing in around you. The writers of this movie were Amy and a woman who had, no joke, a single other writing credit for a 4-minute short 16 years ago. And it appears that they tried to sidestep the psychological thriller undertones of this movie by having Lainey never interact with her family or friends. Want to know why? Because she doesn't have any.
I don't have family, so I don't want to be alone.
Her mother died when she was 6 years old, and as far as I can recall, no other family members are ever mentioned. No father, no siblings, aunts, uncles, cousins, grandparents, and over the course of this movie, she is only shown to have one friend, Kate. That is genuinely fucking creepy. In their attempts to avoid the investigation discovery logical ending to this plot, they accidentally painted themselves into a far more bizarre and unsettling backstory about a woman with no relatives and a single best friend that she immediately becomes jealous of when she gets pregnant. A woman whose main goal in life, as stated at the beginning of the movie, is just to have a baby.
Being a mom is the greatest thing a human being can do.
If you actually think about it for a moment, it's bone-chilling. And because so much of the comedy in this movie falls flat, it just makes Amy's character seem like a genuine psychopath most of the time. This isn't helped by the fact that none of the other characters behave like normal people either. I know Amy isn't a good writer, but the characters in this movie feel like they were written by an alien whose only exposure to human beings was through sitcoms and Judd Apatow movies. Take Megan, for instance. She meets this random woman at a mommy yoga class who nearly turned her baby into raspberry jam by belly flopping onto the floor, then almost immediately starts confiding in her about the moisture level of her nipples. Then, shortly thereafter, invites this absolutely normal person into her home. The character of Fallon essentially exists to do the physical comedy and say the really profane things that Amy doesn't want to. Shirley is clearly just Amy's barely contained resentment towards younger, prettier women. For a professed feminist like Amy Schumer, this is one of the most nakedly misogynist characters I've seen in a minute. Every man in this movie is one step above a vegetable. Arguably the only exception to this theme is David, who is one of the more multidimensional characters in the movie. His request for a threesome is the act that sends Lainey down this path of pretending to be pregnant. But Dave isn't really portrayed as a villain. It's never stated that he was going to propose to Lainey. That is only an idea which is cooked up by her and Kate. His request of opening up their relationship is reasonably and rationally proposed. It is vaguely implied that he might be cheating on Amy with another woman because it is her dress that Lainey finds in Dave's apartment and puts on for their date. But this is a movie where every interaction between people is seemingly the result of coincidence and misunderstandings, so it's possible that there is a totally innocent explanation for this. Otherwise, Dave doesn't seem like a bad guy, just a man who doesn't want to be tied down with marriage and children. But he's sort of an aberration in this movie. Even Josh, who is the romantic interest, has essentially no personality. He's a fucking tabula rasa. You know nothing about him, nothing about his backstory. Nothing about his interests other than the fact that he said he has always saw himself having kids.
I knew I wanted kids at a weirdly young age.
There is no reason given or shown for why Lainey should fall in love with him. None of these characters have relatable problems because Amy doesn't live in the same reality as the rest of us peasants, and they're so underwritten because Amy probably doesn't think of other people as real human beings with lives and their own personal struggles. To her, they're background characters in her story, so she can't write other people that react to a situation like a normal person would, and that goes double for how the movie ends. Spoiler alert, Lainey is invited to a joint baby shower for Shirley and Kate, which is strangely lavish for what I assume are New York City public school teachers. Coincidentally, Megan is also there, which prompts Lainey to shove a whole turkey